All right. No! God darn it. YouTube
Darn
monkey.
it.
YouTube monkey, why are you here?
What?
My YouTube monkey is here.
It's,
Oh.
it appears when there's something fucky lucky.
Yeah, hold on. Is it still set to private? Is it still set to private stream? Like, I still don't know why that's a thing.
Oh.
We're also gonna want to check to make sure that audio is running.
Yep, well, I can see that audio is running properly.
Okay.
Oh, is the private stream
Yep.
something that goes
There.
to YouTube?
There we go.
Uh,
I just realized I had my YouTube information up on the screen. Thank God.
Ooh.
Well, not my information. It was more like my dashboard.
Oh.
There we go. Okay, now everything's up and running. I am gonna have to go into my settings after this just to make sure that I fix that. Excuse me.
Understandable.
But either way, what is going on, my frosty friends? My name is Wintercast Ice, and welcome back to Discord Dungeons and Dragons with the Solaires, particularly Tiny, Stray, and Wanderer. Say hi, guys.
no.
Hi.
You know what? Here, Tiny,
the
Tiny and Stray get Tiny and Stray get gold stars. Wanderer, you're in trouble. That is
What?
You're the only one who didn't say hi.
Oh, I'm being oppressed.
Boo-hoo.
What in
that's not-
response to I'm being oppressed?
I say, Stray, you sounded like one of the old school, old school cartoons, like they're just like here.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like just their
yeah,
background
I
voice.
get what-
It's like I'm the president for today. Oh no, gosh, I didn't vote for him. Like, you know what I mean?
I'm being oppressed. Wah. Shut
Wah,
the fuck
wah,
up, bitch.
wah. Any hoozles. Let's play some D&D, because it's already late
No.
for some of you guys.
What? We're playing D&D?
Yes, we are.
Oh,
I hope
Totally
you have a
fine.
character ready.
no, of course not. I have all my Warhammer figures out.
Oh my god. Listen here.
All 600 of them.
Listen, if we're doing Warhammer, we better be playing orcs, goddammit.
No, of course not. All 600 of these figures are for the one night.
All of them for the one night. Alright, had to refill
They're
my
all
beverage.
mechanics. I'm very proud of it.
Anyway, yes, listen, okay, long story short, not gonna get into this. I have a very good friend who used to do a Warhammer game that was like literally 2 blocks from my work, and it was ridiculous. And I remember he dragged me to one of their their game nights and everything, and it was fucking insane. All I will say this: I think Warhammer is cool. I think the world is really dope, but I don't know if I could ever get into it.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I enjoy the lore and some of the video games, and that is it. I will not touch the tabletop.
No. It's really cool, and the Warhammer TTRPG, like if you're just playing the game without the miniatures, it's dope.
And it will steal all your money if you do.
Even in debt, I still serve.
God.
But that being said, though, let's go ahead and find out what happened last time on D&D. The Solaires, upon finding out that one of the darker cardinals of Scales of War was hiding out inside the mausoleum to the temple to the Matron of Feathers, specifically the mausoleum of the Matron of Feathers, the party decided to go and investigate. After solving some riddles, dealing with some traps, having to trip their way through it, and finding some disturbing information, they were able to split for a while, reform in the most awkward way, and and then thus going into what appeared to be a massive chamber, one that had what appeared to be a decaying laboratory being rehashed and reused. There they found Cardinal Thopic, who was on his knees, bleeding profusely. It did not take the party long to figure out that he was infected with something. And thanks to Henrik's vast knowledge and the party aiding him in his plight, you guys were able to save Stopik from becoming a abyssal mind flare.
Oh god, that sounds horrifying.
You then proceeded to shackle him. You proceeded to bring him back to one of the meeting rooms and essentially interrogate him and sentence him to his punishment. Not executing him yet, but at least sentencing him. Trapping him inside of this essentially portable dungeon that he had come across. And Blue decided to take his hand at it so that he could control this realm for himself and the rest of the party.
Really sorry, I'll be right back.
Absolutely. But now with him trapped behind bars inside of this portable dungeon, and the party being able to stealth their way out just as the dawn starts to reach, I'll ask this, Solaris. Where do you guys go?
That's a very good question.
But
I'm gonna go to the paladin's home.
go back to Vlad's.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, sure.
I would like you guys to roll me a stealth check with advantage.
So I'm rolling natural. Is that correct?
Yes, you are rolling natural because of the fact of your armor.
Yep. That's not terrible.
What
I'm sure Stray got 90 billion, so
Oh gosh.
I got a 12,
All right.
which
Ooh.
Actually, I have advantage. Thank God. Okay. Okay, much better, much better. I just rolled for Alosa and Garnan, and I was like, oh fuck! I rolled a 2 and a 5, and then I'm like, oh wait, no, I have advantage. It's cool. It's cool.
does almost have advantage.
Yeah.
What's up, time?
Can I help Belworth pick up his slack with my roll?
What'd you get?
32.
I will say you can aid him, and basically anytime you hear a chink, you're literally like you're kind of waltzing up, and you're like looking at where the armor is that he's moving. It's just like don't move it like that. Just get a little bit. You're basically like correcting him as he's going.
Back.
All right, Stray, I need you to roll me a stealth check with advantage.
Oh, all right.
I doubt it's
oh.
necessary.
You never know.
2d20.
Unless you roll a 2 natural 1s.
Wow. Okay. Well, rolled on that one, but thankfully I got a 15. Plus my 11, I think, for
Yep.
stealth.
So
Yeah.
26.
I kind of tempted fate there by mentioning the nat 1.
Yeah.
I should stop doing that.
Unfortunately, Vlad is not very quiet. But fortunately, Garnan and Alosa help out with that, especially with Alosa's natural 20.
Yeah, like
Only because she had advantage. I was like appalled at first because I rolled like a 5 for Alosa and a nat 1 for Garnan, and I'm like, ah!
Oh,
And then I
God.
remembered it's like, oh wait, no, it's with advantage. Neither of them wear heavy armor. It's fine.
Oh,
what,
thank goodness.
what about Henrik?
He's got the boots.
Henrik's got the boots, so technically he would have had advantage either way. I say yeah. Tiny's on it.
I'm rolling. Henrik has what plus 4 to dex?
Yeah, it's a +4. Yeah, +5 to dex if I remember correctly.
Plus, I think it was. Either way, it was a 19 on the dice.
Okay, he's fine.
Yeah.
But I say might as well roll for advantage, see if he gets that nat 20.
That was with advantage. The other was a 12.
Oh, fair enough. Fair
Oh.
enough. So he would have been fine either way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do I know where Zekum and our Cardinals are?
You guys actually don't?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
figured.
walked
Oof.
away.
It's more like you guys split up, and you guys talked about where you were going. But you're
Okay,
not.
so that
But because of the situation, Zekum and specifically the position that Zekum and hold on, wait a minute, Going into my Knights of Avor, Elmaris and Zekrom were not looking in the greatest. Considering Zekrom had 2 points of exhaustion and Elmaris had 2 points of exhaustion.
I thought we had fixed that.
No, you guys fixed it in the sense that they got rid of a point of exhaustion, but they both still had 1 point when you guys split up.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're fine.
You get I'll say this above game just because again I'm nice. You get the sense that maybe they didn't want to get you guys caught.
Yeah.
And the larger the party, the more difficult.
Yeah.
Completely understandable.
They knew where we were going at least.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
in the morning we'll check in with the church and see if they made it there. Maybe that's what we do tomorrow is try to track those guys down.
Sounds good to me.
In the meantime, you guys get to Vlad's, and it's again, you guys are pretty quiet about it. You're able to very stealthily get in. Even the Minotaur is able to sneak pretty quietly.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him for a moment.
I mean, you guys could have asked him to stay behind, but he doesn't know anything about the dungeon, so.
Yeah.
Where would we stay behind? Where would he stay behind?
I mean, you guys could have. I don't know. You guys could have told him to stay
There's
behind.
no reason he couldn't stay as the keeper of the dungeon.
I mean, you
I
could.
mean, could.
You could
Nah,
ask. You could ask him to do
No.
that, but.
he's our buddy now. That's good.
He's our friend.
Yeah.
Blue's gonna go back in after getting into the Vlad anyways.
We're
'Cause he
gonna
wants to
leave.
check.
Sorry, I interrupted you. Go for it.
He just wants to go back in and. Yeah.
Okay,
He
so
wants to-
petition to rename the Minotaur to like Gumball.
Oh god.
Listen here, he has a name.
Not anymore. It's Gumball now.
He has a name. I just can't remember what it was.
I actually am trying to look through my notes because it's been.
His nickname is now Gumball.
I know his name was rough, and I had to because Minotaur names are also hard to pronounce.
No.
Let's see.
Oh.
Where is his name?
Oh.
Hold on. It's not in my recap, which is odd. You'd think it would be in there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was a kind of smallish detail.
It's true. That is true. I'll have to look up his. I'll have to look up his info, and it's fine. I'm not gonna dabble on it for right now. But he is still a bit of a stranger to you guys, so it's all good.
Yeah, we'll refer to him as Gumball for now.
Fuck you.
No, at least gruff or something a little less weird. Besides, I'm not sure if gum exists in the world this way.
Gum does not exist in Otharia. Thank you
He's
very
only
much.
saying that to cover it. He's only saying that to stop us.
Yeah.
Listen here, you.
Well, I mean,
But you
where
guys.
does gum come from?
It's
Anyway, sorry.
there's a lot of stuff involved in it. We're not going to get into that. If you want, I'll tell you later.
I'll look it up when I can.
But you guys are now at Vlad's home. You guys are able to get in. It's a little cramped now because of the fact that there's a decent number of you guys, but it's not too bad.
And a huge ass Minotaur.
Yeah, there's a freaking Minotaur. Listen, he's 8 feet tall. It's fine.
Does Vlad live alone?
Vlad does live alone. Vlad, you would know this. No history check involved. Vlad was an orphan, who was left at the doorstep of the church, and he was raised, and that's why he doesn't technically have a last name. His full name is Paladin Vlad Tyr, because he was named after the church because of the fact that he was of his dedication.
Yeah, I remember now.
Yeah, but I say he's one of three knights and cardinals who were essentially left as orphans that became like essential members of the church.
Yeah.
It's a sad tale to tell, but at the same time, like Vlad has made the most of his life. He dedicated himself to the people who raised him, and kind of like an orc to his tribe, he looks to this place as his home. So, exactly.
Yeah, Belwraith would probably find a seat at a table to begin making plans.
Completely makes sense.
Tiny, why does your profile picture look so familiar to me?
Who?
Honey.
Oh. Oh, that was an
It
echo.
does it.
It looks like something from Hell of
Has
a
been.
Boss.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, I was like, it's not Has Been Hotel, it's Hell of a
Oh,
Boss.
it's a shopping bag. Okay, it's a shopping bag.
Yeah, it's a shopping bag. I'm trying to remember. Is that oh god, is that Stalosa's wife's bag, or am I thinking of a different character?
It's just a side character.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I don't remember.
I just saw that they had teacup imps and I wanted to take a picture.
God, I fucking love Hell of a Boss. We're not gonna get into that, but I was like, we're not gonna get into that. But great show. Great show. Also, don't mess with Millie. She will fuck you up.
Yeah. I have yet to watch the most recent episode. Let's get back on track.
Yeah, we should get back on track. Great episode though. Great. I will say that. Anyways, so
Kazir kind of goes to sit at the same table if there's room.
absolutely. But I say it's essentially, if I had to give a description of his apartment, a secondary description of his apartment, it's essentially a studio apartment. But it's pretty wide. It's not like you guys are like struggling to find room, but it's more like all of you guys like sitting in like one corner would be a problem.
Yeah, makes sense.
Excuse me.
I mean,
Yeah,
you could always
alright,
go back
yes.
into the dungeon. There's a lot of space.
This
in
is
there.
true. He has a closet.
Bauer is immediately planning. He's figuring out the next steps.
So that was an interesting set of circumstances.
Very.
Could have gone worse.
Definitely true.
You're not wrong there.
Can someone hold a bag of holding for me real quick? I need to go into it and cast a spell so it isn't tracked.
Alright. Kazir will help.
So wait, hold on. What are you doing?
Blue wants to go into a bag of holding to cast a spell so it can't be tracked by the
Ah, fair,
Okay.
fair.
By the magic. Smart
Would you
move.
be able to,
Very smart.
would you be able to send? Would you be able to do a sending spell out of that?
Theoretically, yes, but
I'll have
You'd have to do the roll naturally.
yeah, you would. It would. There would be
Yeah,
a chance
yeah.
of failure.
yeah.
Completely understandable.
There is a chance. Yes.
I'd like to go in after you. Do your thing first.
You need to take off your armor because bag of holdings you can't fit.
You're basically you're gonna be lucky. It's a tight fit for just a human to fit in there.
Good thing Blue's thin. Blue's gonna make sure the bag of devouring is over to the side. So he doesn't-
Listen,
No.
we don't want to get these bags confused.
Oh yeah.
To-
Or have a bag of devouring in a bag of holding.
to be fair, Tiny, did you
I
ever?
think you can.
Go ahead.
I ever what?
I was about to say, did you ever look up a picture of what the bag of devouring looks like?
Hold on.
I have a bag of
looked it up
devouring.
once, but it's been a while.
I thought that a bag of devouring in a bag of holding would cause the same reaction since it leads to a different dimension or something.
Technically, yes and no.
Thing is less like a
Better to
pocket
not try it.
dimension.
Yeah.
It's less.
Oh, okay,
the
I
bag
get
of
it. I
devouring
get it.
would eat the bag of holding.
Exactly, and they would end up basically in a donjon, the belly of an astral dreadnought.
Oh, okay, I get you.
I don't
The
want
bag
to
of
be in an
holding,
astral
I mean,
dreadnought.
No,
devouring technically leads to the astral plane. While the
Nope.
bag of devouring isn't more. Wait, what?
Yes, you are correct.
It also leads to the astral plane. Just
Well, no,
to a
but I mean, it's a
stomach.
specific like a bag of holding is a specific pocket of its own, kind of.
Yes.
Yes.
Essentially, a bag of holding is like a piece of the astral plane, like in its own concentrated space.
Yeah. Exactly.
Whereas the bag of devouring will
It's a
take you.
portal.
Well,
It's
essentially,
more like a creature that's in the astral plane
yeah, and
Is
to some degree.
you don't. you don't want to go to inside of. Listen, just because the
Yeah,
Mighty
yeah,
Nine,
yeah.
just because the Mighty Nine was able to pull it off, does not mean other parties can.
Correct. Yeah. Understandable. I
If-
mean, you're a monster's belly. There's very little chance to get out.
And it's so much
You
worse.
do not want to fight.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Fight an astral dreadnought.
A
Ever.
they are a CR-19 creature. The odds of you winning are already thin enough as it is.
Yeah. Even
you-
if.
A lot of
Yeah, completely gotcha.
And if you're eaten, you end up in a place known as the Donjon. The Donjon is a specific realm inside of the Astral Dreadnought. Like every Donjon is different. And what's worse is that you cannot escape
the
a Donjon.
Oh god.
Like like it's a prison essentially.
It is a prison.
The only
Fair
way
enough.
the only way out is basically you have to be an incredibly powerful magician to create a spell that actually can circumvent the ability of the Donjon.
You need to cast Wish.
Pretty much, yeah. The Donjon is basically magic proof. Even planar shift wouldn't work.
Wow.
Oh yeah, these things are the predators of the astral plane. Even the Githyanki and the Mind Flayers avoid this thing.
Good to know.
If you want to know what they look like, look it up. About to say it is a fucking horror.
Yeah. Alright, Blue's gonna climb into a bag of holding.
So I assume you take off your armor so you can fit in there.
Well, he
Yeah,
has the really thin, fluffy armor.
Well, no. Well, technically,
Yeah.
yes and no. It's a bit bulkier because of the fact it's so soft.
Yeah.
Anyways, climbing in after it's off.
All right. So
Uh,
you guys watch as essentially Blue dives into the bag of holding. And you can just imagine his legs kicking as he trying to go into the bag, and eventually you guys see nothing as he's inside. And to describe this to you, Tiny, as you enter this, you enter what appears to be a vacuum of white. And you see sparkles of various blues and yellows as you're in a vacuum of empty space. As you kind of are walking around, you see little pieces of random items that you guys have collected on your adventures.
Lot of alcohol.
There is a lot of alcohol in there.
And jewels.
It's true.
Or jewelry, I mean.
Excuse me.
Would keep his jewelry on him, not in a bag.
Well, wasn't there like a lot of jewelry?
Yes.
Very valuable jewelry that he
He has
probably
those on
wouldn't
his
want
rings.
people seeing.
Listen, Blue is
Fair
the
enough.
the rings on his hands.
Blue is the type of character that would wear like 10 rings.
All right, alright.
He stole a lot of rings off the king and has been wearing them.
Oh
Also bought a lot of magical rings.
It's true. So you are currently
Anyways.
inside this space, but I will warn you, just in case you don't remember. Inside of a bag of
10
holding,
minutes.
you got 10 minutes of air. That's it.
Alright, Blue's...
Wait, even if you leave
Act.
the flap open, just wondering.
Nope.
Yes.
Oh, wait,
About to
wait,
say,
one-
even if you leave it open, it is its own extra dimensional space.
Ah, okay.
No, just pop out and then pop back in, but...
You don't want to say I put air into the bag of holding. About to say, theoretically speaking, it would try to take in all the air around you in the world.
Yeah.
Good point.
So I think it doesn't control the magic to do that. Anyways,
Makes sense.
Blue's going to just cast Identify on the Nimnax.
all right. So you concentrate and you focus and you just cast a spell, not ritual casting. You just
Yeah.
cast it.
Ritual casting would kill him.
Okay, so allow me to describe this to you. Let me pull up my notes because this is an item I made. So this item proper name is Nimnax Portable Dungeon. When this magical item is put on top of a doorway, specifically above its frame, you would utter its magic phrase, and in doing so, the doorway would then become the doorway to the dungeon. You would be able to walk right into it. Otherwise, if the person does not know it, and they walk to the door, it would just be a door. They would just walk into the next room that they're attached to. Inside of this dungeon, there can be 5 floors. each of them to the design of the person who controls, who is in control of the dungeon. It is attached by the person's magic. So in other words, because of the fact that you shackled Thopic, Thopic is no longer in control of the dungeon. Technically, Blue is. You can actually change the dungeon as you see fit to fit your preferences. The limitation is that it will not change it to look more like a home. It will always look like a dungeon.
That's fine.
And again, it could have up to 5 floors that are all a layout style of a dungeon. So it could be like an underground keep, essentially.
Don't worry, we'll make it a very homey dungeon.
It has 3 very special abilities. 1, you can change the dungeon every time you take a long rest. You can change the layout of the dungeon to how you see fit. However, if you do this while a living creature is inside the dungeon, they have to make a saving throw, Constitution DC 23, and if they fail, they will take 10d6 plus 30 bludgeoning damage.
Oh. Yikes.
So I could kill the Gorgon and Drider.
Technically, yes. You literally could rearrange the dungeon and kill them inside of it, because you are essentially deteriorating and reinteriorating the world inside of there.
Here's a question. Does the long rest happen first, or does the reorientation happen first?
Technically, it would happen as you're resting, so as the long rest ends, that's when they would take the damage.
It's like a dream of me changing it around.
Pretty much, yes.
Makes sense.
The second
I take 10d.
Go ahead. 10d6 plus 30.
How much damage?
10d6 plus 30.
Alright.
So at bare minimum,
90
like
damage.
Yeah.
sheesh.
At bare minimum, you're taking 40 points of bludgeoning damage. At max, you're taking 100 points of bludgeoning damage.
100?
Yes. If you roll...
Oh yeah, 60 plus 40.
Yeah.
No, it would
30.
90. Sorry.
No, 90.
it would be 90.
Yeah, Tiny's right. I'm wrong.
I'm always... No, I'm right.
Shut up, Water.
No worries.
You're double wrong now.
Man. Anyways.
So it can be a magical phrase, not just a word.
Correct.
Right.
You find the fucking word you chose. The hell is wrong with you, sir?
Oh,
Hey, no one would guess it.
The second thing is one level can always be your Hall of Memories. How the dungeon works is it feeds off of your magical energy. So in other words, you can literally take magic and take an essence of your mind, something you want to remember, and you can tie it to a location. So say for example, you wanted to make a floor of memories for yourself. If you walk down to that floor, you can make it appear as if it was, say, for example, a floor inside of the College of Lore, and it would, every time you walked into a room, it would be a different memory.
cool.
That's.
It's the only exception to how Nimnak's portable dungeon works, is that for most floors they have to be dungeons, but for one floor, it can technically be it could be based off the memories of an individual.
Memory palace.
Make it whatever I want. Each room is a different memory.
Exactly. And you can store, according to this, you can store up to a total of 20 memories inside of the Hall of Memories at any given time.
Nice.
And because it's tied to your magic, they can be 1 for 1.
That's. Ooh.
So say for example, because I designed this item, but I say one of a good example of this would be say for example, you wanted to take out the memory of the first time you met with one of the abyssal avatars. It would be literally 1 for 1 for how your mind remembers that situation. So which means you could even look around the room like of where you guys were and see what was happening in the area.
Alright. With that room being a memory, when I take a long rest, I can change that memory, right?
Correct. You can change out the memories for any other memory that you see fit.
The thing with that's messed up, Because Blue can see his first memory of his old traveling partner.
Yep, that is correct. And
Oh,
the last
yeah.
thing worth mentioning is one of the levels is a level of absorption.
Oh.
If you're willing to do a ritual that will take up to 6 hours, you can take a vast space, like a room of about 200 feet by 200 feet, and take it into the portable dungeon.
Oh.
Which is exactly how Thopic was able to take the old Mind Flayer laboratory into the portable dungeon. But it takes 6 hours to perform the ritual for it to work.
Still very useful.
Indeed. You could shunt that room out of the dungeon. The problem is that because that room existed in the material, shunting it will actually shunt it to wherever you are currently.
Oh,
You're
yikes.
standing like over a volcano while we do that.
Pretty much would be what I recommend.
Yeah.
Keep that room in there for a while. Till we find a proper place to dispose of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yes.
Maybe
Wait,
when we
can't
do
he
it-
just, like, erase it? Or
Maybe
does
when we
it have
do
to
it
actually come
order-
into the room?
It has to be shunted.
Maybe when
Ah.
we put the back in order, then we'll have professionals, being clerics, able to deal with that.
Oh, and
Yeah, makes sense completely.
technically, there's one last thing that should be known about Nimnak's portable dungeon.
Oh.
Ownership.
Alright.
How it works is technically the spellcaster who is connected to it is how it works. It doesn't require attunement. It requires whoever knows the password to be able to connect to it magically. Let's say for example, Blue was done with Nimnak's portable dungeon and wanted to pass it to someone else. All Blue would have to do is give the password to whoever he wants to pass it to, and they can magically connect. They could magically connect to the dungeon, but it's not instant. It does take time.
Makes sense.
The exception in this case for Blue is the fact that you guys have been spending time inside of the dungeon, and Thopic has been shackled with anti-magic. So Blue's already had gotten an affinity to how the world inside of there works.
And
Which
he
should change it up.
someone who solved the most.
Correct.
Makes sense.
We'll do that very shortly.
So yes, you learn all that information, Tiny.
Alright, this is what I got.
Nice.
And of course, if you need me to repeat anything, just let me know.
Maximum 5 layers.
Five floors of a dungeon. One level will always be the Hall of Memories, and one level will be a level of absorption. The only problem is to get rid of the floor of absorption that is currently in there, you'll have to shunt it out, and it'll be around you and where you're at.
Oh, yeah. So, there's only one room of absorption.
Yes, there's only one level of absorption. If you were to try to absorb another, again, it would shunt out to the previous one, and thus
makes sense.
the Mind Flayer laboratory would be outside.
Oh god, that would be so bad in so many ways.
What's wrong? Guys, don't you want to see what happens when an old Mind Flayer abandoned laboratory just goes loose?
You know, it just occurred to me, kind of. You'd be dropping a freaking dungeon on someone, basically.
Pretty much. But it'd also be on yourself.
Yeah.
This is interesting. He's gonna try and get out of the bag folding.
It takes you a minute, but with a little bit of help, I assume somebody's waiting on the outside to help you.
Oh yeah, Kazir would still be waiting. He might even have his arm sticking in still.
You just reach in, I assume you guys clasp hands, and Kazir, you're able to pull Blue out.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
Hope you learned something useful.
Very much so.
Excellent.
How about we go into the dungeon and you can cast sending there.
Theoretically, you could. It's just that you would still have that 5% chance of failure.
You'd have it there too, but it's fine.
Whichever.
Being in the dungeon would be better idea because no time limit then the dungeon. You know what I mean. Not
No
dungeon.
10-minute time limit.
Yeah.
Oh God! Fuck.
Winsor?
I dropped a dice.
Oof.
Damn it!
No.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
Let's move on.
Blue's gonna try and set the password.
Mm-hmm. You want to tell me what that password is, there, Tiny?
It can be a phrase, right?
Yes, it can be a phrase.
Could it be a song?
It could be a song.
Okay.
Clever.
Indeed, okay. I don't want to sing it.
No, I understand. But I say
That's okay.
you don't have to. But it's one of those things. The sad part is the moment you're like, could it be a song? And immediately, I don't know why, some Stranger Things music just started popping in my head.
The password is like how many lines of music?
But I would say
Eight.
maximum you could do like either a little, you could do a ditty, or if you wanted to do like a full verse, you could.
He's gonna do a full verse. I'm gonna leave that though. He's just gonna do the chorus.
Damn. God, dude, you know, Tiny, I'm proud of you. You really fucking like threw yourself into the bard role.
Okay.
Proud of you, sir.
The chorus I just put will be the thing.
That's true. But I say you earned that point of inspiration, and you know it.
We need to meet up with Cardinals again. Is the dungeon open?
Hold on, I just have to set the password. You gonna set that and set it above the doorway.
Absolutely. Also, hi, Audrey.
Hello. I should be keeping an eye on stream as a mod.
I appreciate. I also have it pulled up, so. So you set up the the portable dungeons frame on top of the door, and I assume you start to play.
Yeah.
And as you do so, you watch as the portable door starts to change. And I will technically say this. I will ask you this then, Tiny. How would you like the door to like reveal to you that it is open? For Thopik, he had it so that it like a kind of a green like mist appeared, and he was able to enter. How would Blue want the door to be opened?
The door frame just kind of glows a blue hue.
And you guys watch as the door starts to glow in a very familiar blue glow. And Blue, you stand up, you open the door, and you essentially see a light, and you just enter. Exactly, just very much.
Poof.
Alright.
And do you guys enter?
Sure.
He's keeping it exactly the same as it was.
Sounds fair. With everything in there at the moment, I can understand. With that being said, Belwraith, before you go in, Vlad actually puts his hand on your shoulder.
He'll look over and up at him. One thing about Belwraith that I've been meaning to mention is that, like, his armor has gotten, like, noticeably dirty in spots. He hasn't taken much time to clean it in a while.
That's definitely a step away from normal Belwraith, who literally would not let anybody else polish his armor.
Yeah, definitely.
But you watch as Vlad puts his hand on your shoulder. Belwraith.
Odd.
You guys can go in and discuss things. I feel even though it would be safer to have that, as he points to the symbol above the door frame, I think it's for the best that at least one of us stays on the outside, just as a precaution.
Of course.
With this being my home, it would make perfect sense for me to be here. You guys go in and discuss. I will be out here when you wish to talk to me.
Naturally. I'll make sure you're filled in on everything we learn.
Sounds like a plan. I will make sure that nobody creeps up on us.
Good luck.
And good luck. And I assume you enter in.
Yep.
And similarly, and everybody else just one at a time, literally just.
As soon as I get in, I would like to cast Sending.
All right. As you're in, and you're once again at the opening, which is this again, as you guys remember, just this big kind of opener area, like open hallway with two widespread rooms right next to them. Which one of them you guys still haven't gone down. It looks like there's a drain in the center of that section of the room.
It doesn't
Oh
matter.
yeah, we never did go down that one.
I don't want
Later.
to touch that place.
We'll go down at some other when we got more time.
I'll cast Sending, and I want to target. Zekum is the only name I can remember.
You gotta send it to. Well, there's Zekum, Lexa, and there is
Other one.
hold on. Elmaris.
Yeah. I'll target Lexa because she's probably with her boyfriend. Or not boyfriend. With her not boyfriend.
Not boyfriend. Come on.
And I'll target her and say, where are you? I'm so sorry.
Brain went there too.
Where are you? We are at Pods. Come here as soon as you can.
All right, and I would like you. Is that the end of your message?
Yes.
100.
But I say before we continue, hi babe. She's in the
Who's
chat.
babe? Hi, babe.
Hi babe.
Hello, Abby.
You need me to
Yeah.
roll something?
Yes, I need you to roll me a D100. If you roll, and you don't get a 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, your sending goes through.
We're good.
So anything over 6.
What'd you get?
6 and up.
I got an 11.
Oh God!
Nice.
That's a lot.
It was a 5% chance.
It's a 5% chance of failure when you're using the sending spell through dimensions.
I got an 11.
You got an 11?
I think I've pissed off.
That was closer than I would have been comfortable with.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I think I pissed off the dice gods. I'm really sorry. Please forgive.
And now I need a roll for them, and there's a 5% chance that their message doesn't come back.
Oh, thank God that message
Oh, they're
comes
fine.
back.
They're fine. But I say a 44.
Nice.
It takes a moment, but after a couple minutes you hear, currently at the temple in the Draconic district, seeing an old friend.
There's the Angler.
New information.
Yeah, they've talked to Angler.
Things are not going good.
No.
No surprise there. I will not send a message back.
Noted.
I've probably revealed them a little bit, but it's fine.
Hey, alright.
Mm,
You wanted to go through Thorpik's memories, right?
I did, but there's not much to I don't think there could be something important there.
We could take a quick look.
Or we could,
Yeah.
we'll bring Thorpik along too. And that way he can explain.
Is that a good idea?
He's gonna start walking to the downstairs.
Absolutely. And
To the dungeony dungeon.
as you start making your way, Blue, because again you've been connected to this dungeon, you can start to feel the effects of everything that they like, all the traps and everything that exist here. You're actually kind of connected to them, so you actually know where they are. You're able to easily traverse everybody through the dungeon without triggering anything.
Can I turn off the wraith?
Yes, you because of the fact that
Isn't
you
there
have
technically a living skeleton still around, or did we take care of that?
you guys took care of it.
Okay, I
took
couldn't
care.
remember. It seemed like we left them in.
Because of the fact that you do not practice necromancy, there, as far as you can understand, there's no longer any traps that use necromancy magic. That was
Oh.
all tied to Thopik and the forbidden magic that he practiced.
Oh.
So
And we go down to Thopik.
so technically speaking, Tiny, if you wanted to, you could actually set traps inside
Musical
of here
traps.
using your spell list.
Oh,
Nice.
That's the beauty of the dungeon, is because it's tied to you. Also, good night, Audrey.
Good night,
Good
Audrey.
night.
would it take my spell if
You would need to give up spell slots to set the traps, and once they go off, you would have to give up spell slots to reset them.
Alright,
That
decided.
that is the
kind of like isn't it there like a what's the thing?
like a ring of spell
Rune.
scrying. Or yeah, like a rune.
Yeah.
A rune would be a good example of that.
He could just, set a bunch of traps of vicious mockery.
I mean, you could.
You're walking through being a raider, and you're just getting constantly cussed at.
Ah! Until their head explodes.
Your mother smells of elderberries.
Oh god. Oh,
I'd get into a battle of wits with you, but you're unarmed.
Alright, so.
Are you finished? I haven't even yet begun.
In our direction.
And since he's not a normal bard, instead of it doing D4s, it does D6s.
That is correct, because of the fact that you are a oh god, what is the a Harlequin rogue.
It would have to be very general insults too.
I just like to imagine somebody trying to go through the dungeon is like, this isn't so bad, and then suddenly goes, you hear Blue's voice, your mother never loved you. Do, 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 do.
Oh, dark.
Do, 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 do.
And then it plays like jig music out.
Exactly.
Like it's not like haunting music or anything. It's like a jig.
Like fucking like square. It's like square dancing music.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It'd do something really mean, and then just play an upbeat sound.
Your dad has
Next
been,
chapter.
It's like
gay this entire time. Ba-da-da-ba-da-ba.
just oh my.
Item gain sound from Zelda.
Da-da-da-da.
Item depression.
Dude,
Right?
I've been playing Tears of the Kingdom.
Don't say shit. Don't say shit. Stop right there. You stop right there.
What? I'm just saying that I've been playing Tears of the Kingdom, and I've been enjoying the Legend of Zelda sounds.
Good. That is where we end.
Yep, I'm not gonna get into it. I was just gonna say I have been playing it, and I've been enjoying the hell out of it.
I don't
This is
have,
what you're
I don't
about.
have a Switch, but my brother-in-law does, and I'm third in line to play that.
Hell
I-
yeah!
Fair enough.
I have avoided spoilers so well.
I'm not gonna say anything. But with that being said, though, you guys continue through, and basically Blue's able to lead you through the dungeon back to where the prison cells are, and technically, Blue, if you wanted to, you actually could repair the fourth cell if you wanted to.
Does
Oh.
he has that fix?
Yep, you literally could just walk up to it and you can imagine it. And the next time you take a long rest, even if you don't want to change this room, you could change it so that that particular cell is fixed.
Fix. Okay.
So when you take a long rest, now that it's in your mind, when you go to take a long rest, the next time you enter the dungeon, that will be fixed.
Alright. He's gonna go up to Pixel.
You see once again. You see the Drider just kind of like basically just shackling her legs around, just trying to make noise. The Gorgon is still not really doing anything.
And Blue feel what's happening with the Gorgon.
You concentrate, and you can feel that a magical spell is affecting this Gorgon, and it does not seem to go away, as it seems to be a part of the Gorgon's particular cell. It's affected by a spell known as confusion, and so the Gorgon is doing nothing because they can't do anything.
They have no clue what's going on and they're scared.
Pretty much.
Well, they're not scared because they don't know what's going on.
Pretty much. They're essentially, it's more like in the confusion spell, one of the options is literally to do nothing. So the Gorgon is doing nothing.
Nothing.
And then you see Thopik. Still just... You see that Thopik is actually leaning up against the wall in the cell, and is just... You see that he kind of dozed off a bit.
Oh man, he's gonna be mean. So, Belwraith is gonna like kick the metal bars.
You do so. And it's loud because you're wearing plate mail.
Yep.
And you see Thopik just... Ugh. So, you have returned.
Open the gate.
Yeah.
And so you open
It's
the
gonna
cell.
open it.
You open it. You reach for the door and you pull it, and you watch as the door opens.
We're going to be going through your memories and wanted to bring you along.
You see a moment of it looks like he's going to resist, but then you just see. All right, lead the way.
Right, he's.
Yeah, I'll lead the way to the doors.
Absolutely. So you guys
I
go.
think I'm the only one who knows where it is, apart from him.
Yeah.
Well, wouldn't Blue know since
Technically,
he's got
there's a
the power?
feeling.
Now that Blue is connected to it, Blue can tell you exactly where the Hall of Memories are.
So-
But I say,
Yeah.
but technically, Belwraith is the only one who directly knows. Blue just knows where to go to get there.
Direct.
So you guys go back. You guys go back up the stairs, and you are back on the ground floor, and you make your way towards what appears to be this doorway, in which I assume Belwraith, you open the doors.
Yep.
And as you do so, you guys watch as you're all one by one. Basically, you guys appear in you come into what looks like a very nice looking inn.
Yeah, Belwraith will carry on like shit's the same. Except this time he'll be pushing Thorpic in front of him. Like grabbing him by like the scruff of the back of his shirt and pushing him forward.
And
Keep in mind, this guy still had surgery. Never mind. As soon as I said that, I realized who I'm talking to.
Yep.
Yeah. It
You're
does
just healed.
not matter to Belwraith.
You're not wrong though. He did just have surgery. So
It doesn't
It was
matter.
head surgery. It's fine.
what's the worst that could happen?
It was only minor brain
It's
surgery.
praying too much.
However, Belwraith, you do notice there is something different. Before, when you were in here, you heard cheers and laughter and all that stuff, and that stuff seems the same. You're hearing some odd background music. You're not quite sure where that's from.
Bad place.
Blue, do you know the song?
Blue, you know exactly this song. The song that's currently playing is the one you played in Makanali when you were with the Orkman group.
Oh.
It seems the Hall of Memories is actually being affected by you being here. Not changing Thopik's memories because you haven't stored any yet, but it's almost as if the Hall of
They're
Memories.
having a little influence.
Yeah, it seems like the Hall of Memories is being affected by you.
Alright.
However, Blue, if you wanted to focus and change it, you technically could.
What did it change on the next long rest?
Technically, no. Actually, you could change this at will.
Oh.
Makes sense.
He'll look through everything first.
Belraith is gonna walk into the first room. Like same room he went into before. Same path.
And basically, you guys watch as you guys enter a room. You actually see Sopic and a couple of other people. They seem to be having a conversation about a mission that went well, but a little awry. And they're trying to praise Stopic, but Stopic is actually like talking to them as if they were foolish, acting as if like what he did was what needed to be done, and that he felt that they were being too soft.
Why did you store those?
Stopic takes a moment.
Answer.
This memory was stored. It was the first time that I realized how serious it meant to be a cardinal, and how little respect other cardinals had for what we did. This memory was a reminder.
He'll push him into the next room and like repeat the process.
All right. So you go into the next room and you guys see a hearth. You see similarly, you see what appears to be a couple of students trying to learn some stuff, and Thopic is trying to teach them about not just clerical magic, but about necromancy. And two of them just kind of laugh it off, and they're like, Thopic, come on, like, you're being stupid, you're being ridiculous, like, we don't want to learn these things. One kid, however, looks at Thopic almost seriously, and basically is asking the question of, like, is this okay to learn? Like, isn't this stuff that we're not supposed to practice? And Thopic kind of going into detail about how clerical magic is two sides of the same coin. We're just giving people an opportunity to fight even after death, and that there's nothing wrong with them aiding us, even if it is an inconvenience to people's peace of mind. To everybody else, you don't know who this kid is. Belwraith, this is you would remember that this is a young Jahath. This is a kid with who seems a little scrawny, but with the, if I remember correctly, we talked about this. He has blackish hair, correct?
I believe so. Yes.
It's been a minute since we talked about Jahath. But he has kind of messy black hair. It seems he's a young. This person looks like a young guy, and Thopic is a bit younger, but not too much younger.
Why did you keep this?
Are you going to ask that with every room we walk?
Yes, answer.
I kept this memory in case Jahath ever tried to betray me. I could technically bring somebody of a magic council in and see where it all began.
Why would he betray you?
Jahath has been losing he has been open-minded for a long time, and him becoming the next Arch-Cardinal was definitely not a small feat. It was what he started doing after that started to worry me. He no longer sought my counsel for aid. He would seek help from others.
Did you mentor him?
I am the one who taught him his clerical powers.
And then I'll push him in the next room.
All right. So I'll ask the question: do you take him back to the kitchen, where you saw one of the memories, or are you gonna push him to the bedroom?
The kitchen.
As you re-enter the kitchen, you see a very young Thopic, and what appears to be an elven woman who is currently kind of stitching him up and making food at the same time.
Do I know that elf?
Yes, you do. She is one of the cardinals. Hold on a second. Pulling up. Give me one moment. About to say Cardinal Mikines. She is a high elf. She is you know her because of the fact that she was one of the most approachable cardinals. Very kind, very gracious. She looked at everybody as if it was a new opportunity for like change in the Church of Tyr. She's been around the church for a long time and has been very helpful. And you would see that she is talking to Thopik, and Thopik's kind of being a brat, like he doesn't want to listen. He doesn't understand why Mykonos was this way, but she continued to just kind of mother him. Basically, trying to tell him the importance of what it means to be a cleric and why they do what they do.
Answer.
The church has always been a conflicting place for me. My practice and what I wanted to accomplish would go against what the church taught me. But the thing is that I never questioned the kindness. I never questioned the importance of not betraying those who actually wanted to aid me. Mykonos is one of the only cardinals that, even though we never saw eye to eye, my viewpoints are vastly different than hers. I never wanted to hurt her.
Her saw eye to eye and she's taller than you?
I mean, she is.
There.
Sorry, kind of ignores it. Did you hurt her?
No. And I made her sure that Jahath didn't either. She's currently in the south part of the country. Taking on a mission to spread peace.
Then we'll go into the bedroom, you said?
Yes.
How many meta memories do you have stored? So yes, the bedroom.
10 currently. And so
I'm gonna be here a little while.
Speed run it. Let's go.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of trying to do.
And so you take him to the bedroom, which is another memory that you did see. This was the memory of him looking at books. It looks like Thopik is a bit younger. He wasn't quite a kid like he was when he was around Mykonos. He seems to be probably around the age you were when you really got into the Church of Tyr. And he seems to be practicing his clerical magic, but he also seems to be looking at a book that isn't something that would be allowed in the Church of Tyr. It seems to be a book about necromancy and the teachings of what it meant to see the balance of life and death and what undeath was and pure resurrection and all that was. There was another book, but unfortunately you made a roll and you were unable to see what that other book was.
Yeah, I don't. I'll just look at him and figure he knows what I'm going to say.
This was my first taste of necromancy. I wanted to learn how to go against death. I lost my parents when I was very, very young, and I was on my own. If the church
At this point, he would be moving him to the next room. He does not give a fuck for his sob story.
And you push him into the next room?
Yep.
You take him to what appears to be some kind of drinking hall. Tiny, Blue's been in, I was about to say Tiny, Blue's been in these kind of places God knows how many times.
Sorry to interrupt. I just want to emphasize that when I say push, I mean push.
I know, you shove, not even I know you're not gonna oh no, okay, let's keep moving. You're very much move.
He has the hand on the back of his collar and it's pretty much punching his neck, forcing him to move. Locked elbow.
Absolutely.
Every time I want to add this little flavor text, every time Belrace kind of pushes, my brain just shit on the guy's name. I wanted to say for Malden for a moment. I'll pick. Thank you.
Listen, I know you guys hate for Malden, but he's not here right now.
Every time, every time Bellery shoves him, Kazir kind of winces, like he was only doing what he believed was right. Granted, it was fucked up, but it was at least, heart in the right place.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I feel that one, but at the same time, he is a monster. Let's be honest here.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah.
Also, like wearing metal gauntlets that, like, he's not being nice, even if.
No, not even the
No,
slightest. He's
yeah,
Doesn't deserve
I can
us.
understand that. Just saying, chaotic good.
But Blue, you've been in these kind of places God knows how many times. This looks like you were going down the countryside and you found one of their drinking halls, and it's like the most important thing in their in the town. And you can hear music playing, and you can see Thopic act like a younger Thopic, probably not too much younger, actually like he seems to be drinking and like actually like taking a moment to actually enjoy things. Like he's reading a book and he seems to be like tapping his fingers. And you see an individual walk up to him. And Blue, this voice makes your skin crawl. Oh, well, that's an interesting book you have there. I wouldn't take you for the scholarly type. And you just see a young Thopic look at this individual. This person looks humanish, at least for the most part, but his hair is a bit ruffled, and it doesn't take long from seeing the face. Blue, he looks like a professor that you had at one point or another.
One point or another.
Yeah. And you watch as Thopic looks and goes, and I don't take strangers looking at my writing very, very kindly. I would ask that you step away. Now, Thopic, is that something you want to say to a potential ally? I mean, I feel like we're only just getting to know each other. Who are you? Why? It's funny that you would ask that. From oh God, not from Malden.
Alismere.
Thank you. About to say, Stray, you got me tripping on my names.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. I had from Malden on the mind. Valismere, a pleasure to meet you.
Do I know who that is?
You have not met this individual.
I don't. Yeah.
You have not
met him yet.
You have not met this particular individual. You, but I say, Belwraith, you are roll me an insight check.
My passive winsight is winsight. Sure.
Winsight? hey, insight is winsight.
My passive winsight is 17.
Roll me an, but this is an active insight check.
Ooh. Natural 1 for 8.
Yeah, it looks like this person looks shifty, but you've never heard of this person.
It doesn't matter.
But you watch as they start talking, and after a while, it seems like the people in the drinking hall are gone, and Thopic and this Valismere continue our talking. But once the last person is gone, and it's just the bartender and them, Valismere looks up at the bartender and waves his fingers, and you watch as the bartender's eyes kind of glaze over, and then he falls over.
Dead.
You're not sure if he's dead or unconscious. It's hard to tell.
Who walks over?
And
What happened?
And you watch as Valismere's form changes. It goes from this humanish appearance to what appears to be a purple-skinned tiefling, kind of similar to how Mary became, but the tint of purple is deeper, and this tiefling seems to have wings sprouting out the back.
What the fuck?
It's been a long time since you've seen this form, Kazir. The last time,
Kazir saw this?
yeah, the last time you saw this,
Once.
the last time you saw this individual was inside of a opera room that got
Oh,
To kill him.
that
yeah.
that
Wait,
the one
What Kazir remember?
Yes.
Because he was
He
under
got-
a spell, wasn't he?
he got paralyzed, but he was not unconscious or anything.
Oh, I
was
thought
under the
'cause-
zombie stuff.
yeah.
This
Okay.
was when this was the first time you guys fought a Bolgaratar.
I'll look at Thorpik. Who is that?
Valismere,
How do you know?
because he used to be my teacher.
And is
He
now
turned evil.
and now is the abyssal avatar
Yeah.
of Grost.
Why did he meet with you?
He nods his head. He just like nods his head, and the conversation is still going. So, I'm wanting to offer you a deal. I could help you with your research. I feel like what you're going for is most fascinating. Well, I appreciate your interest. I have my own projects and my own ways to experiment. Oh, but how do I put this topic? With the help of the Broken Skull, we could grant you endless supply of people who would be willing to help you with your experiments. Even willing subjects willing to give their lives to aid you. How could you turn away from such an offer? And you see a young Thopic kind of like thinking, almost like there's a moment of hesitation. Nobody I know. People that won't be missed. And you see a smile around Valismir's face. People that won't even be missed. Strangers. I mean, that is what I'm good at. And you watch as the memory just kind of fades as Thopic walks away.
Gonna check the guy to see if he's
You walk over
done.
he is dead. Like
Yeah.
it looks like he just got scared to death or something. Like his eyes just went pure white.
Blue's seen that before, probably.
Indeed.
Yep, makes sense.
I made a deal with a demon.
Little bit of understatement there.
I
No,
did-
that's the exact
I didn't
statement.
I didn't know he was an abyssal avatar. I knew he was a demon. And a charming one at that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
There's another room. Follow me. And he starts walking.
Because your follows.
Yeah, I'll follow.
As you walk into the next room, you see what appears to be... this is the weirdest one. You walk into this room and you see the outside. Like the outside of the inn. It's storming. Like you're seeing rain fall. And you see bodies littering the floor. You see Thopic, like a young Thopic, probably around the time Belwraith, like, had his incident.
Mm.
And you see like Thopic is getting surrounded by these creatures. Like they seem to have bones sticking out of their bodies and chasing him. There's vast like tree linings. It's like a forest, but you're seeing black spots. It's almost as if it became blighted. And you're seeing just these bone-like animals chasing him. And you watch as Thopic is like trying to keep his surroundings, kind of trying to keep his like. You guys have been in the heat of battle. You've seen what it's like to have to think on your feet. And he's surrounded by what appears to be like a bear-like creature with bones, like almost like the bear's spine is sticking out, and like the bones around the elbows of the bear are like just kind of like poking out of the body.
And he has sharks for hands.
No, you're
Oh, God.
you're seeing like a wolf. You're seeing a wolf, but it's like it's almost as if it's missing the front snout. There's no fur or skin. It's just bone. And you do see the sockets are like a sickly green. And you see a couple other abominations in a similar fashion. And you watch as Thopic just kind of, it seems panicked, but then stops. And he looks at the bodies of the people around him. And you watch as he casts a spell as sickly green energy leaves his body. And you watch as the bodies of these, what appear to be church, people of the church, rise. And like in a zombie-like fashion, you see the fight ensue until the point where these animals with these like these blighted mutations are finally taken down. And as the last zombie is left alive with Thopic, Thopic seems to stop and look at this zombie, and he can see the green in his eyes, and Thopic just looks at him and goes, "Someday, this won't have to happen." And you watch as Thopic just kind of twists his hand, and you watch as you hear a crack as the zombie's neck snaps and falls to the ground. And
so you were getting chased by people who were under Garland's influence. People.
I've been hunted by members of various organizations. I've dealt with terrorists. I've dealt with cults. I've dealt with various individuals. I've never seen blight-filled monsters like this. However, I think your information would be incorrect.
Was it Garland?
No.
No.
This came from, what are those creatures called? Those Knoll folk.
Blighter?
Better say, apparently a champion hadn't been chosen yet. I was in their territory. They hunted me, and you saw what happened when they tried.
Yep.
My only regret was that I wasn't more efficient, and I couldn't save the members of the church that were around me. But they still helped me.
Alright. Let's go to the next room.
Alright. You take him to the next room.
Start hurrying this along so the time outside isn't dragging on.
Absolutely. As you go to the next room, you see a vast library. You've never seen this much. The only place that's come close to what this room looks like is the Thieves Guild study. That had that had that library that had like books up to up the walls. This library looks like it's a football stadium, like filled with books. Most are not labeled. Some of them look old, like old. And you see a Thopic opening up various texts and tomes. Where is it? I must find this information. I don't know when the next time I'll be able to come here. Here it is. This should do the trick. I just need to be careful so I'm not caught. And you watch as he tears a page out of that book and puts it in his pocket. I can't let others find it. And you just watch as he continues to walk down this massive library until he's he is out of sight. Anybody who would like to try to see what he was looking at, you may roll a perception check.
Oh, sure, why not? I'm gonna. And I'm just gonna use the. Nice.
I'm so sorry for insulting you, dice gods. Can you please be gentle?
Oh, you said perception, right?
Perception, yes.
+9. Sweet.
I rolled an 8 but got a 15.
God.
Alright, perception plus 10.
Sorry. That's
22.
26.
22 and 26?
22. 32, sorry.
Damn!
Oh.
Alright, so here's the order of how this goes. Belray, you do see the book. The problem is that it's very the writing is very weird. It's very odd. You can't quite make out what it says. But you can see the writing, and it seems to be some kind of like archaic language. Blue. What languages do you speak?
Languages. There. Common, Orc, and Elven.
You can see pretty well into this book. You can see a lot of writing, but the problem is that you can't read what it says. However, with a 32, I will say this: you can make out that there's magic in the writing. There is. This is a spell. Like this is a very based on like the how intricate the runes look on it, this is a high level spell. Excuse me. But I say whatever he was trying to learn, it is something that is either forbidden or probably something that belongs in like a grand mage's library. Kazir.
Yeah.
But I say I apologize. I'm just describing what everybody sees. But I say
No worries.
Kazir. While you didn't roll as high as Blue, because you actually no, I don't think you have this. You didn't take Eyes of the Runekeeper.
No.
Garnan.
That's
did.
Garnan.
Yeah, Garnan did. So technically, you can't read this either. You can make.
Could I cast comprehend language?
If you would have said you cast it before, I would have allowed it. But because you didn't.
Well, technically, since I couldn't cast it before till after I saw it,
That's true.
the language. So because I couldn't, there's no way I could have cast it before I knew that it was a language I didn't know. Understand what I mean?
No, I understand what you mean. But I say, but similar.
Yeah, all right.
Similarly, you can see what Blue sees. Not to the same detail, but it takes you a moment, and you could do that. But Tiny, you wanted to do something.
Yes. So he walked off and the memory ended, right?
Yes.
Blue is going to replace the memory with a short snippet of just him flipping through the book.
Oh. Blue, you kind of focus, and you just, it's almost as if you guys are watching it in rewind, and you watch as it goes back to the book, and you watch as, because with a 32,
wait, we could just ask him. I just realized.
you could.
Sorry.
But the thing is but you don't know if Thopik will be honest about it.
Oh yeah, true.
However, now that the book is back in place, Kazir, if you wanted to cast Comprehend Languages and read it.
All right. Yeah, I'll cast it.
But I say
That's another spell slot, so I need to wait.
And similarly, just as Blue, just as you imagine it, you watch as he's just focused on the page. It goes to him tearing it and closing it, but then all of a sudden it goes back to him untearing it and looking at it, and it just over and over again. And you watch as Thopik just kind of like gives an eye at you, Blue. Not like an evil eye, but
more like an interested eye.
More like a damn you, sir.
Oh. Fair enough.
But as you cast Comprehend Languages, Kazir, and I assume you take the time to actually look at this book.
Yeah.
You can make out details. It is a sealing spell.
Oh.
And it's not meant to seal something inside of a location. It's meant to seal a location out of the plane of existence.
Oh.
I assume you take the time to actually like thoroughly read it.
Yeah. As thoroughly as you can. Do I need to? Oh yeah, he'll read it out loud.
Yeah, if you read it out loud, you three, I would like you all to roll Arcana checks.
And you know what? I'll roll with real dice this time because why the hell not?
Heck yeah.
Arcana.
What's my Arcana? I'm pretty sure my Arcana is +1. So that's a 10. Not amazing, but not the worst.
It was dancing around the natural 20. I got a 15.
15. And then for you,
26 plus 4.
That's a 30.
So 30.
So I'll do this in order. Kazir, unfortunately, this is over your head. You can grasp the concept of what this is, and it's vastly powerful. You can understand, like, why this spell would be sealed. It's not something that a normal person should cast, and in fact, it could have some dire consequences if used improperly.
Kazir understands the very basics of what this could mean.
Correct. Like, it's not the full intricacies, but even you can tell, like, this... there's a reason why this isn't something someone could find.
Holy shit.
Belwraith, you've seen spells like this before. There are 2 times you've ever seen a spell like this used. One was it was used as kind of a demonstration of like how forbidden spells exist. As a member of the church, you would be taught which spells are okay and which ones are not. And you would be taught like how you can identify a dark necromantic spell from, say, for example, a beneficial spell that maybe is a little bit questionable. You've seen examples of that, like with Speak with Dead, the ability to talk with somebody who's passed. It's not like loved, but people can see the value in it. The second time you've seen this is an actual demonstration. Not quite this spell. You've seen something similar. A cleric used a spell similar to this to seal a location so that no traveler could accidentally wander into it. It's like a way to protect someone from unhallowed ground. But this is different. Like, this is... The writing on this does not look pleasant. You get the sense that this is probably taken to a grander scale. And probably not in the same way as what that cleric had done to protect others. Blue.
Hello.
This is a spell that is not... Like, after the explanation, you're kind of piecing together... This is a spell that wouldn't even be made by a human. Only a creature with almost no empathy and did not want to take any chances would be willing to cast a spell like this. If this spell were to be cast correctly, you could seal a location into another dimension. So, say for example, you wanted to take the church, like the church Scales of War. If this spell were to be cast correctly, you could cast the entire cathedral into another dimension.
Whoa.
And
You could also do is cast something from the abyssal plane here.
Correct.
Yikes.
Really, like, listening to Kazir describe the intricacies of this spell, you're starting to piece together with a 30. I will go a bit more into detail. This is a spell that you wouldn't even imagine could be cast by, would be created by an entity that exists in the known, universe. You get the sense that this is one of the Far Realm spells. This is something that only an aberration would be able to create. Essentially, it is a true forbidden spell. Because the ramifications of trying to seal something or open or basically make doors into other realms, the danger far outweighs the benefits.
It's gonna look over at Thorpic. Stare at him.
He gives you a knowing look. Like, he can... actually, you know what? Hold on. I'm going to roll for him.
Roll insight.
That is actually really good. About to say a 24.
He knows.
He knows. Oh. He can tell that Blue knows.
Explain.
This is a forgotten library. One that only a handful of scholars and magic users even knows exists. I have connections that would allow me to be able to get down here. I found this book. It was incredibly dangerous. I wanted no spells from inside of it, except for one. I have this, and I still have it. An emergency spell just in case.
Just in case what?
In case
What?
he truly went insane. I created a monster and I'm aware of that. I wanted to make sure that if I could not sway him, I could seal him.
What's the spell?
This spell.
It's called Doorway of Hadar. It's a spell that's designed specifically to seal a location into another realm. I did not. But the thing is that there are a couple catches with the spell. I needed a tuning fork specifically for the plane I would send it to, and it took a lot of dirty work. But I had my emergency weapon just in case. I have everything I need for that spell just in case.
Looks like you're gonna probably need to use it soon. Most likely, not probably. Sorry.
Really use it.
You watch it because you watch as he gives you a look and he lifts up the manacles.
Yeah, Zir gets a second look from Belray.
Because you're kind of face palms like, oh, nice.
It's a threat behind eyes.
Okay. Well, I still have your spell book. Is that in there, or did you hide it?
You watch as he doesn't respond.
I'm gonna kick the back of his knees.
That spell.
Answer your.
That spell is in emergencies only. The consequences, if used improperly, are devastating.
You think I don't know that? I wasn't going to use it. I'm not an idiot, like you may think.
You watch as he gives you a look and just... The spell is in the dungeon. Find it yourself.
I'm gonna kick his back, like high on his back, to push him forward. Tell us where it is, or I'll make your face look like a bull.
Okay, I can find it.
You watch as he just on the ground now. He's manacled so he can't get up.
I
How
roll
many
a-
more do we have?
You got this would have been number 8, so there's still 2 more.
I'm still waiting for an answer on my question.
He is not answering.
He's calling my bluff.
Fact.
I know what I'm gonna do. Don't worry about it.
I don't care.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
cast dominate
find it.
person.
We can find it.
Castle
I'm
person?
sure.
I'm gonna dominate person.
Oh.
Oh. So what kind of save is that?
I need a wisdom 15.
Okay. Let's say that is a 17.
Alright.
As you cast dominate person, you
Cutting-
watch as he just...
Cutting words doesn't.
Oh, you want to cutting
Wait,
words
what?
him?
Cutting words doesn't work on saving throws.
Oh.
It's only the eloquence bard.
That's true. God, the eloquence bard, man. You watch as you can see the effects. See it affect.
Silvery barbs.
I mean, you could.
Silvery barbs.
All right, so roll again. Even higher.
Hey,
Hold on. Let me
someone
double,
gets advantage now.
let me double check. It doesn't say that I can't cast it again.
No, you can keep casting it. It's not.
Just uses the slot.
It just uses a slot every time you cast it.
That's fine. I'll cast it again at 5th level.
All right, so rolling again. Same roll.
God
Damn.
He's
Can you hit
a,
him?
listen. He's a cleric, so which means wisdom is one of his.
Yeah. Okay, so for a visual of this, it's Belwraith he's holding the back of his head into the dirt or mud or whatever,
Mm.
and it's a darker kind of a magic. Like, it's not a spell Belwraith uses ever. He's never casted this before.
I assume that the spell would have some negative connotations, considering what you guys have been dealing with.
Indeed. If I upcast it, it allows me to target several people. So if both of those targets go into him, does that make him roll more?
Technically, no. It's no different than if you casted Bane and you only had 2 targets. That you couldn't double Bane someone.
Ah,
Alright, that's fine. He doesn't have to say it. I'll just find it later. It's easier if you cooperate, since kind of both trying to stop
And you watch as
Toss going nuts.
he looks over and goes, "I don't trust anyone other than myself to cast a spell like that."
Not going to cast it. Not going to let anyone else cast it.
The fact that that book had that spell to begin with, even in a hidden library, is too dangerous to exist. It's inside of this dungeon.
Find it.
You are now attached to it. You can find it. But
I know.
but as long as I'm alive, I will not give up information on that I deem too dangerous.
That's fine. It isn't of importance at the moment. Let's go. He's gonna actually help him up.
All right, you help him up. He is not fighting you. He is not resisting you guys pushing him or punching him or hitting him. He's letting it all happen.
Yeah. Again, Belwraith is wearing plate mail. That includes greaves and metal boots.
Oh yeah, the Zilpik has bruises on his body now. he is not. He has been taking all these hits. But as you push him into the next room, you end up in a room that actually looks familiar. You see
the Belwraith or just
you see what
Sorry.
it actually looks like, very familiar to you guys.
Ah.
You recognize an inn. Specifically, what appears to be the drinking hall of a inn that exists in Melbourne.
Oh.
Sorry, I just saw my cat do like the meerkat pose.
Aww, adorable.
Always cute. He can't do that.
He's such a fucking idiot. He runs into walls and shit. Like, I don't know why I'm surprised.
Fair enough.
And you watch as Thopik enters in this inn, and he looks to the innkeeper. It seems to be pretty late in the day, and there doesn't seem to be a lot of people. There doesn't seem to be a lot of people here. It seems pretty quiet. And you watch as
in?
you reckon? Oh gosh, I'd have to look at my notes. It's the inn you guys stayed in Melbourne. The one with the
Rose.
Yeah, the one that Roses. The one where you guys brought the one where you guys for starters had to get your friend out from the rafters
Yeah.
because he got drunk and was hiding up there. But I say
The one before Skulven?
Skulven.
Yep.
This is the
Yeah.
this is also you see the innkeeper Rose, the woman who was hitting on Garnan.
Forgot about that.
And this is the room and this is the place you guys first met Karik, Philman, and Alosa. Like, truly met them.
Hurry it on. What's happening?
You see Rose kind of walk up and go, "Well, howdy. How can I help you today?" "I would like to rent out this room for the night." "Well, I hate to tell you that. That's gonna cost a pretty penny. I get a lot of paying customers." And you watch as Dopik pulls out a chest, like a small chest, and opens it up, and you see platinum pieces. And you see the woman immediately, eyes kind of go wide and go, absolutely. You know what? I won't even ask any questions. I needed to go take care of some business up in the second ring anyways. I will leave the door locked just for you." I would appreciate that. Thank you very much. And as she leaves, you hear the as the door locks. And Thilpig pulls out something from his pocket. It almost looks like a bead of dark energy. He sets it on the ground. We're alone now. Show yourself so we can get this over with. And suddenly you hear well now, so don't need to be a sourpuss. God, I never understood how you became Orcus's champion.
Huh?
Well, death is fun, and I don't want to die. And so undeath is the greatest. I'm not like you, who wants to try to find a cure for death. That's not how it works. I got what you need. You have what I need. It was a little tricky to get my hands on, but of course, I will give you what you need. And you watch as Garland, as you remember him, pulls out what looks like, kind of looks like an ankh. Like you like the symbol in which pharaohs would hold like a religious symbol that pharaohs would hold. It was not easy to get my hand on. I had to let's say a cutthroat business. Well,
bad puns. Sorry.
They're great. It's fine.
and you watch as he hands the ankh to Thilpig. You watch as Garland reaches down and grabs this like dark, shadowy stone. I kept my bargain. That is an item that is not easily found, and it was a secret held by the church for a long time. It should allow you to do what you want. And this does do what you said it does. Why, of course it does. I mean, do you think I would lie? Yes, I'm very well aware you would. You see just a deathly smile go across Garland's face. You know, you're smarter than you look. But quite twice as funny looking. Very well. You have the item, and I have mine. Now, do you have the other information I was looking for? Yes. You'll find it underneath Mount Thunder. Currently being protected by a dragon guardian. You're going to need to use that in order to get rid of him. You'll have to be careful. Even you will have a hard time dealing with him. Oh, please. An overgrown lizard. I can talk him out of things. Heck, I would hate to see if the conversation dragged on.
God, this guy's puns. Yeah, because he actually says that.
And you watch as Thilpig looks at him in disgust. The place is yours, at least until she returns. Don't kill her. They've seen me come here. I don't need this following me to Padstow. No promises, but I'll do my best. And you watch as the memory fades.
Pick.
Hmm.
How long ago was this?
This was about...
Before or after the siege on Melbourne?
This was after the siege. The Empire has been struggling to capture the ravaged path, and they haven't been able, even after the attack, they haven't been able to capture Melbourne. Baron Nijak is a clever man and with good resources.
Blue's just gonna look him dead in the eyes. The Empire has fallen.
We both know not entirely.
It's lost its most of its leaders, but now it has the puppet and the other.
You're not incorrect, but you're forgetting that the broken skull essentially controls it. You turned members and even leaders, but that doesn't mean that the Empire has fallen.
No, it's just become a branch of the Broken Skulls.
Indeed.
Yeah. Let's go to the last room.
Which, Belwraith,
Mm.
I assume I don't need to remind you the information that he gave up.
You might have to.
It has been a hot minute since we talked about it, but you would know about this. No rolls necessary because of the fact that you did uncover this information, and it is something that Belwraith would know. Under Mount Thunder, protected by a draconic guardian, is the church's darkest secret. Something that they don't tell anybody else, and it was up to the Archdal of Padstow to be the one to protect the information. The only other people who would know would be high-ranking cardinals and high-ranking knights. You would know because you were being trained to become the Archdal. Underneath Mount Thunder is the only known nexus to the material plane. All the other ones are unknown. But the church uncovered this one instead of Guardian to protect it. The dragon there is a gem dragon, specifically to protect the necropolis.
Have I ever met the Gem Dragon?
You have not. You only know of them.
Do I know their name?
Yes. Let me pull it up real fast.
Let me look up Sendai.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, hold on a second.
Oh fuck! It's
Happy
with
anniversary, babe. I love you.
What's the limitation on a creature with which I would be familiar with? Would they have? Because
Oh, I know what you're wanting to do.
it's between them being familiar with me and me being familiar with them. You know what I mean? Like that's not. It's a mutually exclusive thing.
You being familiar with them.
Because if I know their name and what they look like, I feel like that maybe that would count. I want it to.
You would know this. You would know this entity as Noah Zeoth, the Redeemer.
Would I be able to contact them with sending?
You could attempt. The problem is that you don't know what the situation is. The best you could account for is that they would be able to receive the message. It's just that I would roll to see if it would be successful, because of the fact that you're going off of a description and a name. You're not going off by like one. You don't know the person personally, so it makes it difficult. There is a chance of failure, essentially. By the way, did you want me to spell that for you?
Sure.
I'll tell you what. I'll post it in the Discord.
Yeah, please.
It's dragon names.
I zoned out for half a second, but I'm figuring what you're leading into is that Jahoth may have or will be sending one of these bad motherfuckers to this place.
I mean, they already pretty much took out the king, so I wouldn't be too surprised if they took this dragon out already.
All right. I'm gonna.
But I will say this, and you would know this. Noazueth is a ancient gem dragon. Like he is not like he's not like the king who was borderline ancient. Nuezleth
Oh.
is an ancient dragon.
Oh, okay, okay. I don't
He
know why I thought he was ancient.
and because he's a gem dragon, he is particularly dangerous. If I remember correctly, he is oh gosh, I'm trying to remember. Was it? I'll look it up later. I'm not gonna try looking through my notes right now. But he's the dragon he's the dragon whose breath weapon does radiant damage.
Okay. I'm going to try to cast Sending on him.
You gonna try that right now?
Yes.
All right. Because of the fact that you're in another realm, you're going off a description and a name. I want you to roll me a D100.
Can I get a DC?
It is going to be a 50-50 chance. If you roll above a 50, the message will go through. If you roll underneath, you fail.
Okay, Dice Gods.
Come on.
I know we haven't been on the best of terms this session, but if I get this one roll, you can hit me with ones for the next 2 weeks. I don't care. Just let me get this one in, please. Fucking 5?
Oh god.
Fucking 5?
You try to concentrate.
You know what? Fuck it. Can I give him my inspiration?
That is up to you. If you would like to give it to Wanderer, you could.
Yeah, I will, because this is kind of an important role.
Does that mean I roll again, or
Yes, you would roll your D100 again, and again if you roll above a 50.
we need a box of doom? That's better. That's an 83.
That's an 83.
Yes.
All right. What would you like to
Thank
say?
Here.
You're welcome. You owe me.
Everybody gets one. Tell him, Peter. It seems like everybody gets one. Bingo.
Let's see. Sorry, I'm typing it out right now.
No worries. Best to make sure you get it right.
So, guys, how's everyone doing?
I'm doing alright-ish.
Blue, I have a thing that Blue's gonna do once we
Oh,
finish the last memory.
Absolutely.
Well,
All right, then.
question. Would all of this count as one memory if Blue wanted to try to do that?
Technically, no, because these are all fragments of memories.
Alright,
Takes a
I
room
figured,
of
just a thought.
memory.
Correct.
Like, you can't make a massive room with all this. It takes one
Yeah.
room that the memory happened in, it just records it.
Makes sense.
Exactly.
From what we saw, with him being chased, the room can be a section outside.
It's true. It can be a section outside. The thing is that it's very much the location is very much based on the memory, but it's essentially as you walk through the Hall of Memories, it basically takes form to what appears to be a room. It basically if you like, oh, it's a field. Like if you try to walk the field, you would hit a wall eventually.
Yeah.
here's what I have.
Okay.
You don't know me, but I know you. My name is Belwraith. I was to be the Arch Cardinal. Be warned, foes may be coming. And that should be 25 exactly.
All right. It takes a moment. And
Wait, isn't
Belwraith.
maybe one word? Sorry, never mind.
No, it's all good. Better say Belwraith. I need you to roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, that's my deal with the dice gods coming in. That's a 9. Rolled a 7.
You hear a massive roar inside of your head, Basically, have you ever had like someone put like one of those air horns right next to you and blow it?
Oh,
I've had
wow.
something similar enough.
Picture if you heard, say, like a dinosaur's roar at point blank range, just inside of your head. You guys see Belraith's equilibrium just kind of like his whole body shivers, and you fall to your knees for a moment. You hear, like, you feel pain as you suddenly, like, you're not really getting a message, you're more feeling pain. It takes you a moment as you start to realize you're feeling what he's feeling. And so you do hear some words. Help me. I'm lost. Where am I? Belwraith. For the next 10 minutes, you have disadvantage on all dexterity checks as the core of your balance has been messed up.
Ooh. Kazir goes to check on Belray as soon as he notices he fallen. You okay? Because as far as anyone outside knows,
Yeah, you guys just
he
watched.
just had a seizure.
Yeah, basically, you guys just watched Belwraith have a bit of a seizure.
No, it's bad.
What's happening?
I can't tell you.
Okay.
Technically, you are sworn to secrecy.
Well, I mean, it is the fate of the world.
That's
pretty
true.
much.
I mean, hey, that rule could be broken very quickly, but at the moment.
If it's bad and you can't tell us, then tough.
Whatever it is, it better be important to keep that secret, because we're in shit.
I will look at Thorpik.
Mm-hmm.
You have fucked us beyond belief. Not just this church, not just this town, the material plane as a whole. Damn your soul. Damn you.
They know where it is. They don't know how to open it.
That's half of the problem.
You would
The
know.
dragon isn't there.
I'm aware.
You knew.
The stone that I gave him, he was going to use it specifically on the dragon.
Did it do?
It's
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Picture it. How would I explain this to to people to? Picture it like a interdimensional space, like a prison. Essentially,
A little bit like sorry.
Go on. No, go on.
A little bit like this dungeon.
In a sense, but picture it more forced. It was a trap. Specifically, he just needed to get the dragon to touch it.
Out of character Pokeball.
Pretty much, except for picture if the Pokeball led to a hell, essentially. Not like one of the 9 hells or something like that. Basically, Belwraith, actually, why don't you go ahead and roll me a religion check, and I would say with advantage. Because that item that he gave him is technically a church relic.
That's good for clean.
A
His
13?
proficiency in religion and arcana. Would he have a chance?
If Belwraith would be willing to describe it to him, I would say Blue would have a chance.
What would it be?
You would know. You've heard of something like this before. With a 13, you said?
Yeah.
With a 13, you've heard of something like this before. Something about a demon lord at one point or another. The church was able to stop a minor scale invasion, and essentially the leader had this item on them. Essentially, what it was is that it's like the abyss, as you know, is essentially endless with layer upon layer. What would happen if someone could weaponize it and actually take one of the layers as a portable prison, essentially?
Oh.
You're not quite sure exactly what happens in there, what the effects are, or anything like that. But you do know that such thing does exist. It's just the church has been keeping these kind of weapons and artifacts like secret from the world. They would not let this fall into the wrong hands. It's basically like the SCP Foundation, essentially.
Ah,
So is there only the one of these?
Mm-hmm. Only one.
And it can only hold one thing at a time?
Technically, it can hold a lot of things. It is essentially a realm in its own. It's just very dangerous.
Would that be something the College of Lore would know? Because that's history?
I would say if Belwraith was willing to describe that to you, I would let you roll. It wouldn't be an advantage, but I would give you one roll history.
Alright.
It's really hard to say if he would or not, just because of, like,
It is technically forbidden knowledge. This is stuff that the church doesn't talk to normal people about because of the
Yeah,
fact
so
that it leads to, because once it's out there, people will come finding it.
basically, it's a little bit like studying history and expecting to know everything world that the Germans had secret.
Yeah, it's like finding out about like the what is it? What is it called? Do you remember?
Unit 713 or 731.
You ever hear the story of the
crap.
Russian sleep experiment?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
It-
the copy creepypasta thing.
Yeah, imagine if that turned out to be 100% real, and someone got the information on how it works, what they did, and how they could replicate it.
Try to replicate.
Ex-
I'm
Horrifying.
gonna,
Yeah, I gotta play the character here, and he would not tell you.
I'm gonna roll insight to see if Blue can see if you any reaction to knowing it.
Absolutely.
What would I roll against that?
That would be a deception check
Okay.
if you're trying to hide your emotions.
It would be. I'm probably gonna fail. Eh, Chance 18.
Well, the base roll was 18.
All right.
You know that you know that Belwraith is withholding information. He can figure out what this is, and he's not telling you.
Blue's going to walk up right in front of him, looking him dead in the eyes. Wraith, if we are going to do this, you have to be clear with me and tell me information that we need.
I'm sworn to secrecy. No.
Secret that you're willing to give the whole world for.
Secrets that I know that if I tell you, you may leak it to more people on purpose or on accident. I will not tell you.
Alright? Blue's gonna turn around and start heading to the other room.
To the
I
last.
don't know if I can trust you. He goes to the
Because
left.
there will say, yeah, it might mean the world if you don't tell us, but I respect it. He kind of goes to follow Blue.
All right.
Blue's trust meter for him just plummeted.
Just the Telltale game. Blue will remember this.
Oh yeah.
I gotta play the character. I really
Oh,
want to tell you guys that like this can be common knowledge, but I gotta play the
Oh,
character.
absolutely. Let's be honest here, guys. Above game, fuck yeah. I'm about to say hell yeah.
Oh yeah. Completely above game. Yeah.
In game, fuck you.
Yeah.
exactly. Gotta play the character.
It would be no different if, say for example, like Kazir found out about like, oh, this could be this information could be critical to helping people, but it could also lead to the devastation.
And that's exactly what position Wraith is in.
Hold on.
E-
I'm just gonna roll a quick check.
Lucky.
Let's just kind of look over at Belwraith. Since you are deciding to knowingly withhold information that could help in saving the realm, You can sit this last memory out.
Fuck yourself.
Is
This is
that what
my
he
investigation. This is my town. I do
Then
not
don't
need your help.
don't withhold information that can save the realm from allies.
Yeah, the same information can bring about its destruction.
Do you think that Kazir, who is committed... We're all a part of the Thieves Guild. We've committed crimes and we know how to keep secrets.
Magic can do many things.
He's not wrong, you know. Why do you think I kept that spell for myself? You just see,
got a point.
you just see,
I mean-
you just see Thilpic giving Belwraith a knowing look.
Kazir does kind of wince, like, yeah, I realize I've been hit with too many spells that would have caused me to blab. I mean, like, what, 3, 4 occasions?
Knowledge is dangerous, and only in the proper hands can it be guarded and protected.
Alright. Alright. You're the one with the mental barrier spell. You can leave this. Blue's going to just walk into the next room.
Absolutely. So you guys walking into the last memory?
Yeah.
Blue's
Yeah.
going... hold on. Yeah. Blue's going to walk into the last memory and then stand beside a door that's leading out of it.
Absolutely. As you walk into this last room, Belwraith, you recognize this room immediately. This is the Grand Prayer Room. This is the room in which the Archdal of Tyr in Scales of Ore would be talking to the knights and talking to the cardinals. This room is supposed to symbolize order, like the words of Tyr. How order can sometimes be unjust, sometimes order can be painful, but at the same time, it's for the protection and betterment of others. Justice must be sought, regardless of the situation. You've been in this room and you've heard awe-inspiring speeches, not even just by the Archdal, but by people who have experienced some of the worst tragedies that this realm has ever faced. I can't speak for how you would feel, but you see this room, the lighting is different. It's almost as if like what would normally bring in grandiose light has been tinted. You see what it used to be the pedestal in which they would speak behind a pew and spread the word of Tyr. You see a throne. A throne made of metal and stone. And on it you see a very familiar figure, but also different. You see Jahath. You see him as an adult, a full adult. You see him with his skin being a bit paler than you remember. His hair is black, but you're seeing streaks of white. You see his eyes are different. It's almost as if like they pop out more. And you see coming out from his back what appear to be gold feathers, like gold feathered wings, but you see tints of black feathers amongst them. Our Cardinal Jahath, I have returned from my previous mission.
While the memory is going on, Belwraith slowly walks towards Jahath.
You get up close to him.
How far away would the party be?
From where you guys entered, you guys are standing in what appears to be like a side door to where this chamber would be. You're seeing it from a side view. You're probably about 30 feet from where Jahath is, and about 50 feet from where Thilpic is. If you walked up to him, you'd be about 40 feet from the party.
Belraith, you can't hear his words exactly, but the sentiment remains the same. It is a recognition that this person is not who they are. This person is not who they were anymore, and it is deeply saddening. Like an almost contagious feeling of despair and regret, while mixed with anger and hatred, as Belwraith normally is. It's There's no real comparison to draw that would be easy to understand. It would almost be looking into the coffin of your best friend, would be the
That's a good way to
expression
say
on his face.
Johath, I have returned from my mission, as you have inquired. I'm happy to hear that. What information have you brought for me today? Based on the research and what we found out, they have gotten to the necropolis, just as you planned to. We've also heard tale that there are some abyssal entities in the southern reaches of Atharia. Some of our cardinals are bumping into them. Some of them have been taken out. I've been able to smooth things over, but... And you see a tint of a look, like a hint between anger and curiosity. What is it that you're thinking of right now, Thopic? You see Thopic just kind of give a look of like almost hesitation. If you don't tell me, I'll just take it from your mind. Best speak it and make it less painful. Why do we need to side with the Broken Skull? We've gotten what we needed. We don't need their assistance. You see Jahath kind of step from a comfortable position to kind of a, like, leaning position. Kind of like a king thinking on their throne. Thopic, we've talked about this. We don't need them. However, having pawns on our chessboard to be able to do as we please is, quite useful, wouldn't you agree? Having demons at our disposal as well as the church. And you've seen the power that we've been granted because of it. Our Cardinal, if I may, power you've gotten from this. I've gotten my research, and that is all that I've required and asked for. I don't care to play chess with the kingdom, nor with this world per se. Why do we need them? When the truth is that they're going to be our undoing. They're going to ruin everything that we look for. I mean, besides, how long before Belwraith figures out Belwraith doesn't need to know anything? That, as far as I'm concerned, he's gone. As soon as I can, he will be a distant memory. You see the wings fluctuate out, but Belwraith, from where you are, and with Blue and Kazir, your guys' passive perception is 17 and so, correct?
Let me double check. What the hell did just pull up? Hold on.
20 and 19.
19? And then...
Pretty... Oh, yeah.
Mine's 20. His is 19.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys would see this too. Belwraith, you don't need to roll a perception check because you're right next to him, so you can see it. You see what appears to be... So, I'll ask this question. Have you guys seen what the second to last boss of Elden Ring, the guy who has the tiger that's essentially coming out of his body. Yeah, you remember what that looked like?
I think so.
Picture that, but instead of seeing what appears to be a tiger coming out from like kind of like from Soul Eater, you saw what the fuck is his name? Krona's Krona's little demon that hangs out with him. Fuck. It's my favorite anime. Why can't I remember his name? Shit. I'll remember later. But essentially, you see what appears to be some kind of demon start to kind of come out the side of his body. It's like it's coming out of his skin directly. But it seems to still be attached to him. You see what appears to be this eyeless demon, smooth skin, like grayish black in color. No eyes, but you can see a smile, a massive smile that only a demon could truly have. These decrepit wings behind on the back of it while it's still coming out of his body, and you watch as it kind of leans over the body, like over Jahath's shoulder, and you see it being almost the size of him but not hindering him whatsoever.
At that point, Belwraith would probably be start walking towards the exit.
As you walk, you can still hear them talking. I apologize, Arcana. I've overstepped my boundaries, and I will make sure that I don't do it again. See that it doesn't. I don't need to make another example now, do I, Thilpic? And you watch as Thilpic kind of gives a bow and starts to walk away. And you guys can hear him, specifically Blue and Kazir. You hear Thilpic say, I will handle this indeed. I have just what I need. And you watch as the vision fades. And you just see Thilpic chained, standing in this room. This was the day that we found out that you were alive.
Belwraith has already left the room.
Oh, Jack's it.
He is like. Can you roll an insight, party?
Oh, sure. I'll roll insight.
You just say buddy?
Party.
Party. Insight. What is my insight?
Everyone who's here, including NPCs.
Oh,
if you
0. 17.
Team plus.
Solid 17.
DC is like 15.
Go.
Team plus 22.
NPCs?
NPCs? I about to say, the only two that probably would have came into the memories with you guys would have been Garnan and Alosa. And technically Henrik, if Henrik wanted to.
I think Henrik would have followed.
I would leave that up to you guys to decide if Henrik would. But I know Garnan would, but he probably wouldn't care that much. He just want to know what's going on.
Yeah.
Alosa, you see, specifically, I'll say this to the people, highly perceptive members. Alosa looks disturbed at seeing Jahath.
Yeah, so for you who passed the 15 DC, for the first time, Belwraith has reached his breaking point after 2 years of, like, constant betrayal and bottled emotions. He's reached his breaking point and does not want to be weak around you people.
How about we give him some time and just go sit in last memory?
Wasn't this the last memory?
This was the last memory.
This
Remember
is
it?
his last memory.
Yeah, his last memory.
Oh,
Uh,
all right.
Winter would like to implement a memory in the next room.
Oh, and which memory would you like to implement?
Blue is going to implement a memory of him being. Hold on. Do you have the map of the place near you?
I do. Yes. Would you like me to pull that up for you?
Nah, I have the map. I was just
Oh.
making sure you had it.
Yeah. Yes.
It's pretty much the place around the center of Tamworth, Stratford, Pittman, that empty area.
Oh.
Oh, I think I know what.
It is a memory of him with his previous party, just him sitting on a hill while they set up camp.
Oh. Oh. Right.
Oh,
That's right.
One of the more calming moments.
Yeah. But I say, oh my gosh, it's been a long time since I've thought about that. Good on you, Tiny. Good on you.
Blue's gonna make sure, just keeping the feeling of the place, making sure there are no traps in Morris Way.
You easily can make your
his
way.
ear does follow.
Yeah, you can easily make your way through, and you watch as Stolpik extends out his manacles, like the chains to his manacles, to you guys. I'd like to go back to my cell now.
All right.
It was a nice field trip, but I'm okay with being done with this.
Understandable.
He's gonna start leading him back.
Oh, also, as you're walking him, if you ever want to know this information that Belwraith is so hesitant to tell you, I would be more than willing to tell you at least some of it. I was the advisor to the Archdinal.
This was. No, I'll let him tell me in time, and if he doesn't want to, well, I'm just gonna keep leading him back.
Until my death sentence, I am the encyclopedia of the church.
Mm-hmm.
And
As for Belwraith, he exits the dungeon alone.
so you just completely leave the dungeon, so
Yeah,
back into
he's
back into Vlad's apartment.
Yeah, Vlad can do the same, like, insight.
Let me take a look. Oh yeah, no, he can read you like a book, and he stops you. What do you think you're doing?
Belwraith wraps his arms around him and weeps into him.
Vlad just kind of he takes this and he's like, oh, and you watch he's very slowly takes you into wraps his arms around you, and Vlad actually holds you very firmly. Not like in the sense of he's like shush there. He's more like let it out.
Yeah.
Let it all
This
out.
is years of repressed emotions. It's not a man crying. It's more of a
like a child like a child who lost their innocence.
Yeah. It's almost like that.
It's similar, but not the same.
Yeah.
Nope, absolutely. And Vlad will just
understandable.
Vlad will just hold you, and he won't say a word. He will just let those emotions out. And I assume you're gonna be there for a while.
Yeah.
So while that's going on, Blue.
Oh.
I assume you put him back in his put the dog back in his kennel.
Yeah. Pretty much. He's gonna leave some food too, but no silverware.
As you leave him the
No
food,
sharp things.
As you leave in the food, I assume you start to walk away.
Yeah.
Upper floor. My personal bedchambers.
Alright.
You will find spells that I deemed too dangerous for others to have. Some are necromancy, some are aberration spells. You can do with that knowledge as you see fit, but I do beseech you, be careful who gets it.
There's a good chance I don't even look at them. I'll just put them away so they can't be touched.
Fair enough. That's all I can ask of you.
Thank you.
You ever wonder what's really out there?
I do.
With us mortals, with everything that we do, every action has a reaction.
Yeah.
Every action has a reaction. Everything we do has consequences, or it could have upsides. A lot of things you do can feel meaningless or be looked down upon. But if it's just, it's probably the right way.
Do you think the gods keep themselves to themselves? Not because they're so powerful and so great, but because of the fact that they fear what they created and the concepts in which they domain over.
Yeah. It's one reason I believe gods don't get too much into it. All of this could be over and it might start conflict, and that's not something we can handle as mere mortals.
And you watch as you hear the food being taken. I appreciate your input. And he starts to eat.
Blue walks away.
Absolutely.
Did the people follow him, or did they stay in his memory?
Kazir would have followed Blue.
You notice that the thing is while everybody else moved on, you notice that the Minotaur did not go into the memories. He apparently,
Makes sense.
but I say he is just kind of like, I'm don't want to get lost.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. You do
Understandable.
notice that Garnet and Alosa are still in that last memory.
In the last memory?
The last memory.
The one Blue made. Gotcha.
What I say, you see that Alosa is kind of she's having a reaction. And Garnet's just kind of there comforting her. And you see that for the first time in a while, you guys can see Alosa's kind of wrapped up in her own feathers.
Oh yeah, I forgot her wings were
Yep.
tangible.
Her wings in my games, but I say the wings are tangible, and she can call them forth.
Makes sense.
But
retract them.
she can retract them, and but the difference is that they don't get any of the like core abilities, say like the scourge or the protection as ASMR abilities, unless they use the ability. And you just see Alosa's kind of wrapped up in her wings.
Who's just gonna leave them be together?
Absolutely.
Hangman style.
Absolutely.
Probably a good idea to just leave him alone for now.
But you do see that Alosa is taking comfort and just sitting next to imaginary Blue. Well, past Blue, looking down the hill.
That is the time Blue was genuinely happy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I remember. And I mean, we haven't really talked too much about it, but like in that area,
Yeah.
the path between Tamworth to oh gosh, the path between Tamworth to Alnerwick is like open like plains and like beautiful beautiful landscaping. It's very much like your classic if you were if you were taking your car ride through the hills, that's very much what it looks like.
Since it's based off memory, he's going to remember it as being the perfect warmth.
Yeah, just perfect weather. The wind is only slightly blowing. It's enough that it's cool, but it's not too much that it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You hear laughing and joke making as these people are just setting up tents and getting stuff unloaded.
Made it set as the perfect day.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, time to go to more pressing matters and go upstairs.
Absolutely.
Do you want me to follow you, or would you rather do this on your own?
Alright. The less people that know about this sort of stuff, the better, and to be honest, I don't really trust you with the whole being charmed thing.
Oh.
Yeah. Because you completely understand. Like, feels embarrassed, more like almost, no offense, more like little bit frustrated with himself for giving him several times over.
I'll never let you live it down that you nearly killed me.
It's true.
Yeah. Don't blame you.
I love Kazir as a character, but man, as a DM, have I gotten lucky catching you off guard.
Yeah.
Love you, buddy.
To be fair, no problem.
While
I mean, his constitution ain't the best.
No, neither, unfortunately, wisdom isn't exactly your strong suit either.
Yeah, exactly.
While I'm up there, can you move that metal round table in front of the door to creepy place?
Wait, who move what?
I'm asking the Minotaur and you to move the big metal table in front of the door to the bigger brain place.
Or not? Yeah.
Yeah, Illithid.
No, it. Oh wait, yeah, it was Illithid. Sorry, brain shit.
Absolutely.
I'll be glad to help.
I will aid you, my small cat friend.
Oh, Kazir.
A pleasure. And you watch as his giant hand comes down.
Kazir goes to shake the hand.
Giant hand which you can take up your entire forearm.
Not often do I see brother from Uskar.
Has Kazir ever seen a Minotaur before?
You've never seen one, but you know of them. There is a tribe of Minotaur that do live in Uskar. They're kind of nomads. They don't. But I say they're as. So he kind of explained it a little bit. There are technically 3 tribes of Minotaur that exist on the material plane. They're kind of exiles from the endless maze.
Oh yeah, because the father of Minotaurs is like a abyssal lord.
Yeah, he is the abyssal prince Baphomet.
Yeah.
But I say, so Minotaurs are exiles. There are Minotaurs that exist in other other continents in other countries. But as far as in Atharia, there are 3 tribes. 2 of them are in Uskar. There supposedly is one that is near Tuscadal, but because of how like the tribes work, it's a little bit tricky for them to live in Tuscadal.
Makes sense.
If the Minotaurs were accepted into a tribe, they would be welcome into Tuscadal with open arms. But until they take up the mantle of a tribe, they're basically kind of exiled, and they're more near the Pulpero Mountains.
Ah, I get that. I think.
Whereas Uskar is very open. They love people, and it's very much a trading port, especially with Idrish down south. You would know that as a person who lived in Uskar, like trade is huge in Uskar, like, and with the kind of the tropical weather that's there, like especially near the Exeter Desert, having some big bulky guys that want to help out with protection or trade, they're like, heck yeah.
Okay, yeah, I get that. Sorry for kind of being repetitive. I just realized
no.
I
This
get
is
that several times over.
This is, well, to be fair, this is such new knowledge to you guys. Like, none of you guys really have asked the question of, like, Minotaurs in the material plane.
I mean, it's never come up, really.
I mean, you guys have fought demonic Minotaurs.
Oh, true. But I mean, that was...
Yeah, Bulgratar.
What was I going to do? Brain just short.
got...
Kazir shakes his hand. Beno, I never met your kind of people, but I've heard good things.
And you watch a smile kind of goes across his face. I appreciate it. Was that the right word?
Yes, that was.
Thank you, small friend. And you watch as he's like, could you lead the way? You watch as he kind of pokes two fingers together. I don't know where to go.
Oh,
down
I'll
the
lead you.
hall like 7 steps.
He doesn't.
No, we're going. I think what he means is we need to know. Tongue tied. Going to the table to roll it to the door.
Yeah, he doesn't really know where he's going. Like, don't get me wrong, he is a Minotaur, so he does have the labyrinth mind. But the problem is that this particular Minotaur doesn't like magic that much.
Completely understandable.
So because magic works differently than like your actual surroundings.
Yeah.
Especially in a place like this.
Basically, it's a magic maze in a way, so it's a little bit more throwing him off.
Mm-hmm. And
Kazir will lead them to where they need to and explain that this table goes in front of that door.
Oh, that I can do. And you watch as he picks up the table and throws it over his shoulder. Lead the way, my friend.
Kazir seems a bit impressed with him just lifting this door lifting the
stone table.
Yeah. And I'm picturing it that it's the same size as the one Garnan lifted.
Yes,
so.
very, very much so. Yes.
Yeah.
That is it.
Steps to the
Big muscles.
Yeah. He leads them to the door that needs to be blocked.
He's not smart, but he is wise.
Yeah. Fair enough.
And he will
gentle giant to a degree.
He will allow you to lead him, and so that he doesn't get lost. Blue. So you go up the stairs, and normally there would be a question, there would normally be like a riddle for you to solve. And I mean, if you would like the riddle, I can ask the riddle again. But otherwise, if you technically, because this realm is connected to you, you have the free reign. You can walk anywhere.
Does it just tell Blue the answer?
I mean, you could ask it. You can basically reveal it so that you know the answer as well.
Have him know the answers.
Absolutely. Hold on 1 second. I will pull up the riddle and tell you what the answer is.
So he looks smart.
I mean, yeah. Give me 1 second. I'm pulling up my my dungeon notes.
DMing it to the blue.
Here we go. To get to the second floor, they call me the king. I have the eyes, hiss, and fangs of a snake, but have no scales or venom.
Oh yeah, we never did that.
I'm gonna assume that's a lion.
As you reveal it, you say the answer is a cat.
Oh.
It's lion's a cat.
Yeah, it technically the answer to the riddle is cats. So a lion technically falls into the category as well.
Yeah. Fair enough.
And
Perfect.
and as you literally because you're just like wait, me.
Fun.
But as you reveal it and but I say Blue, I assume you get a chuckle out of the answer, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
And you walk up the stairs. No hindrance. And as you took one step, you just like, and you're kind of dropped out as you suddenly realize you're in what appears to be a hallway with a bunch of doors.
Feel what's behind them.
Absolutely. You kind of reach out your hand and you feel they seem empty. A couple of them seem to have what appears to be like lab equipment with various different chemicals and various different mixtures and elixirs. You do feel, as you reach out to one of them, you do feel what appears to be lifeless bodies. No, nothing moving, nothing undead or dangerous, just lifeless bodies.
Dead.
The weird thing is because you're connected to this place and you can feel them, they don't even seem to be like deteriorating. They're not rotting.
Alright.
And you also get up to what appears to be kind of a like not necessarily a big door, but like a little bit more ornate door. And you can feel like you get the sensation that this is where someone has rested.
You feeling any magic items?
You do feel some magic items in here.
Alright. He goes into the that one. Any traps? No.
There does not appear to be any traps.
Alright.
But as you walk up to the walk up to the bed, you do see that there is some kind of magic tied to it. And once you look at it, you see that there's another riddle. And and you get the sense that, you get the sense that this one, because of the fact that you control it, if nobody knew about this, they wouldn't have even noticed that there was a riddle here.
Does it say what it does if they tried to lay down?
If they try to like touch this, and like say for example, someone tried to like dispel this, you get you can feel the magic that's connected to it. This particular riddle is tied to, well, for starters, if you laid on the bed, it casts the sleep spell. But if you were to try to touch the riddle, like try to dispel it or something, you would get hit by modify memory.
Oh.
You're not quite sure what the memory would have been modified to.
But you got hit by it. Who doesn't want to find out and just gonna make that go away?
But there is a riddle that you can read because of the fact that it's attached to you.
What is it?
What breathes, consumes, and grows, but was and never will be alive. Would you like the answer? Would you like the answer to this riddle?
I'm guessing mushrooms or fungi.
Nope.
Oh.
What breathes, consumes, and grows, but was and never will be alive.
Fire. That's
That is correct. Fire needs oxygen, consumes with that which it burns, and can grow if given space and sufficient flammable materials. But it can never be alive.
Yep.
And
I mean, in this world, maybe.
technically,
well, it kind of depends.
technically, fire is the only real living element.
Fire elementals.
Yep.
But I say water, earth, and air are all just things that exist. like actualities.
Yep. Yeah.
And as do you give the answer?
Okay.
As you do, you watch as the bed lifts up. You watch as the kind of like the bedstand lifts up. the bed itself moves, and you see what appears to be a what would be the term for it? So like a conspiracy theorist would have a bunch of like pegboards and everything with lines and stuff connecting to it. You see things like that, and you see what appears to be a book with like a skull on it. It's like bound in black leather, and the skull has a ruby and an onyx eye.
Going to the radiating magic.
Oh, it's radiating magic, and what's disturbs you is you're seeing every like element. You're seeing every school in the spectrum in there, and you are seeing. Oh no!
Bellray's passed
He
out.
said, "Be right back."
I'll be right back.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
You are also seeing in there 2 schools of magic. One you recognize and one you don't.
Welcome back.
The school you're. It's like Phasmophobia. Welcome back. But I say the one you recognize that seems to be coming very intensely because you've seen it before. It's like intense necromancy, like it's disturbing how strong it is. And the other is a magic you've never come across. You honestly, I would argue even with the vast knowledge that Blue has, he's never seen this before. I honestly, in good conscience, couldn't even ask you to roll because technically Blue wouldn't know.
I was gonna try and cast Identify.
You cast Identify on the book. Do you just cast it or do you ritual cast it?
Yeah, just cast.
As you cast Identify, this book technically doesn't have a name. You can feel various sorts of magic. The Identify spell even seems confused. Because, like, basically, like, you know what I mean? Like, you cast it and it's like, it's a book. You know what I mean? Like, there's magic in it, but it's almost as if casting Identify on it wouldn't really work. Because it's not, the magic itself is not coming from the, like, necessarily the book, but the spells that are in the book.
So it's a spell book.
Yes, a very disturbing spell book.
Alright.
I guess I'll ask, what do you do with it?
He's going to put it into his normal bag, not a bag of holding.
Just his bag.
Bag.
Noted. And you put that book, and you can, in your notes, you can write Thopic's Forbidden Spellbook.
Picks forbidden spellbook.
You'll just have to let me know if you ever decide you want to flip through it.
Alright.
So, with that being said, though,
Anything else magical?
in
the
this room, you look around, and you're seeing like you see some magical scribbling. It seems like he was trying to essentially like hide some of the words with what's the name of the spell? Illusionary script. But with your true sight, you can read it. It seems like as you're looking at go ahead and roll me an investigation check to see if Blue could fully understand this.
Alright. It's fine. 19.
A 19. This is some deep like investigation into the concept of death. Like you're used to this stuff like this before. Like the college of whispers exists. So you're used to like, people being into the macabre, being into like the darkness that is death. There are followers of the Raven Queen. This seems to be like someone's researching the very concept of death. Like, not just its purpose, but like, why does it exist? The spectrum of which it exists, how it affects all the different races, how it specifically can be accessed, what it means to be able to access the afterlife, what it means, what afterlives exist, why do the souls go there? Why do the souls go to those specific locations? Why does the Raven Queen domain over is essentially a spirit fire rather than somebody who actually rules over a domain in which that lost souls can go to? And it's very much that, and it's with a 19, you can tell it's like this probably has to do with his research. Unfortunately, even you're not able to quite grasp what, like, where this is going, if that makes sense.
Most would look like crazy rambling.
Yeah, you would get the sense that if a normal person saw this, they would be like, well, this guy is fucking crazy. But given that you know Thopic and looked into his memories, seen the kind of person he is, you can follow the trail in which he is going for. It's just, this is very, very depth-defying information. This is how, like, cults are made.
Alright. Well, if there's no other magic items.
You do notice there is one other magic item, and it's only because of your vision that you can see it. You go to where, like, his dresser is, and essentially you reach around the side, and you feel a cylindrical shape with
It's a dildo.
No. With what appears to be like two bars going out and a rounded top.
It's the Ankh.
It's the Ankh. The magic off of this is weird. You're feeling 3 different types of magic coming off of the Ankh. You're seeing graviturgy, necromancy, and chronoturgy.
Alright. He's he's going to take one of his empty vaults and he's gonna try putting the Ankh into it.
All right. So you set it down and you start to play a song. And as you do, it doesn't work.
Alright. Expected. Alright, I know what this is. This is not useful now, but it will be. Could be.
So what do you do with it?
Put it in the pouch.
Like in the bag of holding?
No, in a pouch.
Oh, just in your bag.
You sure that's a good idea? Because I'm sure that soon as people see it, they'll try to get it.
Well, if it want to go into one of my vaults, I don't want to put it into a bag of holding.
Fair enough.
But you put it in.
Can he see the magic through one of his pouches?
Good about it.
With detect magic, yes, because your pouch is not protecting against, like, the prying eyes of detect magic.
Yeah.
And the book also has that magic. But then again, any spell book would have that kind of magic.
Thought so.
Alright.
Just leave it in the box.
In the box?
The box. Put it in.
Wherever you got
We'll
it
leave
from.
it in the dungeon.
You
The
could-
dungeon.
I
Yeah,
mean, you
because
could.
that way at least.
I'm gonna just hide it back and.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
You put it back.
The book too, right?
Oh, chill. Book is
Because-
seeping a lot of magic. I need more lead.
I mean, you know.
Lead stops magic seeping. I need more lead.
This is correct. It does indeed.
He's gonna hide the book in a
Absolutely.
different place than where Thor picked it.
I was about to ask the question, would you be hiding these items in a different room specifically?
One of those rooms to the side.
Absolutely. One of the like laboratory rooms.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
People would expect something super magical to be in this grand chamber, and it's just in like a box in the side room.
Absolutely. You easily done. But as a blue, you're able to seal it away.
It's gonna hide those. Should I roll a stealth to hide them?
Oh, I mean, yeah, why not? Go ahead.
Right. It's making sure that they can't be hidden unless he's there.
Good plan. Good plan.
What'd you get?
32.
You hide the book
Nat
so well,
20.
even you have to double check where you put it.
Holy nice.
You're like a magician. You just like wave your hand with the book in your hand, and it's gone all of a sudden.
Alright, he's gonna go back down.
All right. So you descend the stairs, and you see. But I say at this point, you watch as your Minotaur friend has put down the table, and it seems like him and Kazir are having a conversation, just casual talk.
Is Alosa still?
You see,
Yeah.
Alosa is kind of walking out. You get the sense Garnan kind of talked her down a little bit, but she still seems shaken, and her wings are still out.
Blue's gonna. Nah. That might mess with the spell. He did just memorize the memory. Blue's gonna have a direct exit so they don't have to walk back all the way through the memories.
Absolutely. And so the Hall of Memories have been adjusted to do so.
Alright. It starts with a good memory and then you get to the bad stuff.
There you go. Problem solved.
Fair enough.
Alright. You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. Let's go.
Indeed. Yeah, let's go out and actually do something.
Alright, we're gonna get on out.
All right, so you guys step out of the dungeon, and I would say
Okay.
I will ask this question of Belwraith.
Yeah.
But I say they're gonna be in there for a while, like doing all the things they did. It's probably gonna take at least 20 to 30 minutes for them to do everything that they did.
Just giving him some time to himself.
How long do you think Belwraith would have been in this embrace?
Good 10, 15 minutes.
Absolutely.
So probably be
what-
done by then.
Yeah, what time would it be?
It is early morning now. Dawn has just come as the sun has now risen.
No long rest?
You guys haven't rested yet.
Oh shit.
Remember, you guys went to the mausoleum at night. And
At night and did the thing at night. Yeah.
Mhm.
There's much to be done.
Understandable and agreed.
Yeah, like, even though that he looks exhausted, he stands up ready to go for another day.
And it's at that moment you hear a knock on the door.
Belwraith quickly realizes he does not have any disguises, and like gets into a blind spot of the door.
You watch a
Because you're also will try to hide.
If you guys would like to roll stealth checks, you certainly can.
Alright. Fuck. Well, I mean, even with the 4, my stealth is like what?
15.
Yeah. So that's 15.
Am I rolling with disadvantage?
Are you still wearing your armor?
Yes.
Yes.
Of 28.
Still not bad.
Damn.
That's gonna be a 16.
Damn, Blue. Jeez. And about to say, and because you're actually startled of how well Belrith is actually like keeping quiet.
Oh yeah, I forgot I have advantage. Thank you.
Yep.
Sorry, brain
Nope,
shitty
you're,
on me.
you're all good.
14 on the dice.
So 25.
So, yeah, 25.
Jeez,
Poof.
I forget that fucking. Because you're at the point where like he's starting to he's kind of scary on some of his ability checks.
That's all Kazir can do is hide. He ain't good at much except hiding and assassination.
Oh, coward.
Hey man, your ability, you lean into your subclass very hard, and there's no shame in that.
Yeah.
That would be the equivalent of Tiny just saying, "Blue knows stuff and magic." Oh, ho hum.
Yeah. Fair enough.
But you hear rapping, you're rapping at the door, and Vlad kind of walks up and goes, "I'll be right there. Hold on." And you guys hear a familiar voice. If you could hurry along, that would be quite useful, and the less people who see us, the better.
Because you're kind of sighs, relaxing, realizing it's one of the friends
Yep.
from earlier. The name's escaping me.
As the door
Well,
opens,
it does not relax at all.
as the door opens, you see 3 hooded figures, and you watch 2 shorter individuals and one larger guy. And as they come in, Vlad closes the door. You watch it say like, "Is this room bugged?" And Vlad just kind of looks around. It looks at you, Blue. "Is it bugged?"
Shouldn't.
"I don't know what that means."
Anything watching? Blue looks around to see if he can see anything magical.
You don't see anything. Oh, I mean, you see your guys' magical items and all that stuff that you carry on you.
Those,
But aside from that,
I
no. You don't see any.
say,
You don't see
Million.
any eyes or scrying orbs or anything like that.
all right.
Fair enough.
I have a place where we can be safer if you care to go.
And you watch as they kind of give you a look. How safe?
Nobody can watch us unless I give them a password.
They kind of. You see these individuals give each other looks. "Lead the way. We will follow you."
Cover your ears.
You watch it. They give each other a look, and then they like put their fingers in their ears.
Have they noticed me?
They do not seem to have noticed you.
Do I know who they are?
It doesn't take you very long to figure out that you recognize some of the robes underneath the cloaks. This is Zekum, Lexa, and Elmaris.
I figured.
Yeah, it takes you. It doesn't take you very long because you know what to look for. But for like, say for example, Kazir and Blue, it does take like a double take to kind of see the particular iconography you would be looking for.
Oh, understandable.
Vlad, can you quickly check them for the marks like you had?
Absolutely.
At
Belraith,
this, Belwraith would drop their hoods and check for the mark on the back of their neck.
absolutely. Give me an investigation check.
Can I have advantage? Because I'm
Yes, yes, because you are aware of them, so you would know exactly where to look.
18. That's a 1 in 400.
But I say you and Vlad both are just kind of thoroughly investigating their necks and making sure like the back of their heads and everything are clear as well.
I rolled 13 twice in a row.
Damn.
Oh.
you do see like kind of like almost looks like a scar mark of where on their neck the marks used to be, especially on Lexa and Elmaris, who both, basically had a shock to their heart.
Oh.
Well, because when they got released, they died.
Can I make
Makes
another
sense.
insight check to see if they're dating?
On Lexa and Zekam.
Yes.
I mean, you could
Whoa.
roll an insight check.
I know as a player. Okay, that's a 24.
You do see Zekam is actually staying very close to Lexa. But I say you're seeing subtle signs. I will say even with a 24, you're still not quite sure, but you get the feeling there is something here. There's something to look at, but you're not quite sure what exactly it means. Shut the fuck up, Tiny. Goddamn you.
God.
But
Alright.
you lead them in.
Once sure they're not messed up, we
Vlad-
lead them in.
Vlad gives you a nod as if to say, like, they're clean.
We lead them in.
Good.
You play your tune. The doorway lights up blue again, and you walk in to this room where you guys will plan to make your final move, I assume, against the church.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
All right.
Because it is 3 in the morning. We've been going for 3 hours, and it is 4 in the morning for Tiny.
Yeah.
And
What
Wanderer.
a session.
That is,
What's it?
What a session.
heck yeah.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one.
Who was about to punch the Wraith?
Yeah, I was about to say, we almost got some PvP up in here.
Yeah, completely understandable.
God.
Yeah, again, that was a character play. I had to.
Oh, no
Well,
Blue was
worries.
in character, so was Blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was genuinely a that's what my character would do moment.
Yeah.
So and not so yeah.
Basically, I'm agreeing with Stray on this. Listen, above game, completely understand. Now I have a question. Can you actually would fucking respect you for sticking to the guns of your character? In game, however, fuck you, you
Yeah.
piece of shit.
I mean, Kazir has no malice against it. I mean, realizing would be the first to crumble, probably.
I'm about to say you're a warlock to an abyssal prince.
The very low wisdom.
Yeah.
Pretty low charisma.
Yeah.
God.
I mean, it's fair. It's understandable.
No, I think we can all agree, like, as far as roleplay goes, fuck yeah. But as far as like it, but characters in the game, however, might feel differently.
Yeah. It's the moment where you'd swear at the TV screen.
It was in character. It was great. More in character for Blue would be punching you in the balls, but
Yeah.
He would just hit metal, like
You would have hit his metal codpiece.
I would have Don't worry, it'd be fine. I would have cast Bestow Curse.
God.
I curse you with omnipotence.
I would have countered with darkness and then inflict wounds 7 times.
God.
Oh,
Hey man, listen. Let's not get into a magic fight. This might not go well.
Nah, Belwraith would win.
Yeah.
He's a fighter.
yeah, almost certainly.
But either way, like, I know that this was very much like a roleplay heavy session, and that's why I was kind of like, oh well, what, Garden and Henrik aren't here. I'm like, yeah, but like this, I knew this one was gonna be like roleplay heavy, so
Yeah. And we can always kind of half backtrack for Garden and Alosa to do their thing if they want. If Garden wants to.
That's basically where I was kind of leaning with that. I'm like, if the guys come into this conversation, like, absolutely, like, you guys, I will say this above game, you guys could absolutely, your characters would absolutely be able to tell that Jahath freaks the fuck out of Alosa.
Yeah.
Oh, completely.
I
Yeah.
was just going to let her have some alone time with her bae.
Yeah,
He-
better say, you know how it is. You've been there, Blue. You've been there.
He's the wingman. He needs to.
It's true. But if you guys would have gone up to Alosa and talked to her, you know that she probably would have talked about it a bit and why she's uncomfortable. But we can always leave that to another time.
yeah.
And I will say this for clarification, specifically for you, Wanderer. Belwraith would know that Jahath was not an Azamar.
Yeah, he was a human.
He was he was
know
a
that.
human.
Was.
Wait, was?
Was. Yeah.
I
No,
mean,
that I guess that's what we're going with now.
yeah, pretty much. Like you're not quite sure. I mean, he's probably still human, maybe.
Oh, fair enough. Fair
I
enough.
think he's more demon now.
Hold on.
Yeah, makes sense.
Is it? I'm trying to remember what the hell that demon's name is. Give me 1 second. Hold on. What is the name of his demon sword?
I
Uh,
had been planning how Belwraith would react to like different states that Jahoth could be in. Like
that's what it is.
somewhere he's like consciously making these decisions and somewhere he is under the influence of an abyssal lord.
Mm.
And Belwraith in character had been so confident and so believing that he was under the influence of an abyssal lord, but upon seeing him and like learning things around him and words that Thorpic had used,
Mhm.
it made him realize that this was conscious decisions of him.
Well, I mean, he was kind of manipulated to
Kind
go
of.
further and more aggressive than he originally, from what I gathered, anyway. To an extent. Further than he originally planned, but he was tricked into doing shit. Well, not
Yeah.
tricked, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, but it's even still, it's
Even
it's an
further.
act that's unforgivable.
Oh
to-
yeah, completely understandable.
Oh yeah, no, Jahath's a fucking monster. Let's be
Yeah,
frank here.
because here it's fully like, yeah, this guy's a monster, but at least he's a monster with his heart in the right
Yeah,
place to some extent.
Thopic is a monster, like truly and utterly. And I will say this above game as a DM, like he's a terrible person. But at the same time, like I said, imagine if Hitler grew a conscience and actually looked back and recounted everything that he's done.
Yeah,
Would he necessarily regret what he did? Probably not. Like it seemed right in the moment. But
It was just to him.
yeah, but just looking back, you get this, and with your and if you
I
guys,
mean, I wouldn't even say it was right to him. Like
this is
from my understanding, Hitler, he didn't even do what he was doing. What was right in his opinion for just Germany.
yes, for and even then,
This
just
guy
for
is
the,
trying to is overall, yeah, he's doing the wrong things, but he wants to help the world, completely eliminating death and sickness, which is an admirable goal. Admiral?
no,
you know
it is it is an admirable goal, but
Thank
it's
you.
not a problem.
Belwraith doesn't
That's the
agree
word.
with that either, though. Belwraith thinks that death is a part of life.
Oh yeah, completely understandable.
He is an order cleric. Like, this is the way
Yep.
things are.
Literally.
It should
Oh
not-
yeah.
It shouldn't be changed that drastically beyond this.
I think Barith would have given Blue a pat on the back for that one line.
Which one?
He was talking to Thorpic. Thorpic questioned him about the gods and anything we were doing mattered. And Blue just pretty much said, I'm trying to remember what he said exactly, but something, if you're doing something good and you believe it is just, then it does matter.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's the whole Tyr's whole thing.
Belwraith would have fully agreed with that.
Yeah, I get that.
it's one of those things where it's just like, yeah, no, I knew for a fact when I made Thilpic and like what he did, what he represents and what he is. I knew he would fucking get under Belwraith's skin really hard, considering the fact that literally Belwraith's domain goes against what Thilpic wants to do.
Yeah, there were several moments where Belwraith wanted to kill him then and there,
Mm,
but at the same time, he knows he has a tool here, and he wants to use that tool to its fullest extent for all the knowledge it can give, and then for the fear it can instill.
exactly.
Now,
Oh yeah, fair
now
enough.
I gotta figure out, will Blue tell him about the Ankh in the book?
I mean, that's the thing.
That's your call.
You
Keep
essentially
the
have
secret.
him. You essentially have him captive. You literally could question him for as long as you want.
Oh, I meant Belwraith.
Oh, Pelwraith, yeah, no, that's a whole different conversation. Ultimately, though, I will ask this to you, Wanderer, since this is your arc. What are your thoughts on what I did to Jahath?
Yeah, like, God, I fucking love bad shit happening to my character so much. It makes me
I
Now
literally,
you know where Blue comes from, kinda.
yeah, I was about to say. The funny thing is like we dabbled, we've been dipping our toes in everyone's arcs a bit. Like both, Kazir and Blue have had touches of things. But the thing is the truth is, they have yet to experience what I have planned for them.
Oh God.
About to say the thing is that it's like, yeah, this is pretty heavy, heavy Belwraith. Oh, we're just getting started. That to say, you guys still need to hunt down the avatars, and multiple of them have personal connections to you guys.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I mean, to be fair, Blue still has to get even with Valismir after everything.
Yeah, and Kazir still has no clue why the hag wants him and his wife.
Mm-hmm.
I think the big tipping point in why Belwraith did not tell Blue about the orb and all that, and the Nexus and everything about that, is that he still sees the Solairs as his ward, not his friends.
Yeah, and that in itself is going to be an obstacle you guys will have to overcome.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough.
It'll be a hard one.
God, I love D&D.
Me too.
Agreed.
A roll of D100. If it's below a 25, Blue will completely stop trying to make you his friend.
Okay.
Well,
29, you're fine.
That's a bit closer than I would have liked.
Yeah.
He's not gonna try as hard because you're holding stuff back.
Just
Gonna try.
all I'll say
Fair
is,
enough.
all I'll say is this: we have the thing is, as much as I am your dungeon master, and of course I want things to be interesting and fun. The inspiration for some of the shit you guys have to deal with has to do with conversations we've had for years. I've gotten to know you guys not nearly as well as some of my IRL friends, but I've gotten to know you guys pretty well. And I took some of your guys' like tastes and interests into account for your guys' touches of your backstory.
Oh.
yeah.
And the thing is Wanderer, we've known each other for a little while now. When I created, when we really talked about your backstory, I'm like, what could I use to like really kind of tip this over the edge? It's like he really loves some fucked up shit here.
I do.
It's like, how do I push this over the edge? Let's make it so this person looks like a fucking Elden Ring boss, but also has essentially the Batman that laughs come out of his body.
I do enjoy body horror. I find it absolutely horrifying. Like,
But in the good kind of way.
in both.
Yeah,
Like,
I get you.
a major part of it is like, how could you let this happen to yourself? And for Jahath, it scratches that itch in a different way.
Yeah, I get what you mean, I think.
Especially for Belwraith, because he knew Jahath since they were boys, right?
Since it-
he
Yeah.
Since they were
considers
friends.
him as family, as another brother.
Yeah, the thing is that the inspiration for Jahath in this case, but I say, is very much Krona from Soul Eater. I don't know. I don't think any of you guys have.
Oh God, I forgot about that
You,
thing.
you bastard. But I
That's
say,
bad.
and it was very much like you just needed. Jahath just needed a push to become the monster that he is.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to get into details about any of that stuff, but I will say this: he very much was inspired by Krona from Soul Eater. So if anybody's watched Soul Eater, they gotta say they would know exactly the kind of individual Jahath became. There are still vast differences between Jahath and Krona, but like Krona was the base inspiration.
Mm.
Oh yeah,
But
I think I get you.
you got a cat in your lap.
What?
But
But it's just like
I couldn't hear you, Tiny.
Was whispering.
he's got a cat in his lap.
Fair enough.
But no, I'm like, I need this to make this fucked up for Wanderer so that Belwraith can have these moments. And
Yeah.
Oh, completely fair.
and so when I made Jahath, I made him that way. Like it's the same reason why Balasmir is very much like a manipulator. It ties very heavily into what Tiny wanted for his backstory with his parents.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Something that really helps is that I made sure, partially with like how the character's mind works, like deep behind the layers,
Mhm.
how the character's mind works is that Balrith is secretly an optimist. Like hidden behind a realist, he's an
Oh yeah,
optimist.
makes sense.
And he really, really desperately wanted to say that for years upon years now, it's like Jahath was the first step for all this to happen, and he was the first one to be taken by a an abyssal lord, and like Belwraith can undo all of this. And while Jahath couldn't go in public again, not as his normal self, he would have to be changed in some way through polymorph or whatever.
Mm.
But Jahath could still be alive and be here. But
Yeah.
seeing that it wasn't that way, really, that was,
The breaking
yeah.
point.
Yeah,
The
that's
I want to
understandable.
say it was the straw that broke the
the
camel's
camel's
back,
back. Yep.
but it wasn't. It was the anvil.
It's just very
Fair
very
enough,
hard
fair enough.
shattering your reality.
Yeah.
Not earth altering.
No, no.
World altering.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I mean, yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm starting to pass out, so I'm gonna
No,
hop off.
I understand wholeheartedly, but I do hope this session was fun for you guys, though.
Yeah, it was. It was a pretty good one.
I nearly punched a player in the face.
Yeah, hell yeah. About to say, we almost had some PvP up in here.
Yeah,
Nah.
yeah.
About to say, but thank you guys so much for spending time with me. I know that next week probably will be a bit complicated since Tiny, you're probably getting ready to start your job and everything.
Yeah.
Complicated.
So we'll
Start on the 19th.
start on the night. Okay.
Orientation.
Okay, so I feel a little better, but at the same time, like more than likely next week will be the last week that we start super late. The week after, I should be starting my new schedule,
Look forward to it.
where we'll be starting at around 6-7 o'clock your time, Tiny. So
Alright.
so going until like 10-11 your time at latest.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that okay with you guys?
That's beautiful.
Yeah, completely.
I would request it to be pushed to 7, me and Tiny Time.
Yeah, about to say it would be. We would be starting around 6-7 your guys' time.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that would work.
As
We
long
usually,
as that's
we
okay with you
usually have-
guys.
yeah. In my house, we usually have supper right around 6-ish is the thing.
Oh yeah, makes sense.
Absolutely.
Don't want to have to deal with eating while talking.
Oh, no. 9 times out of 10, we eat at the supper table together.
Oh, fair enough. Definitely fair enough.
I haven't done that in Like 13 years.
Yeah,
I-
kind of sad fact for me too.
I don't really do
Like-
the table situation.
Still in the living room.
Yeah. About to say. Go ahead. You were talking first. Go ahead.
Who?
You,
Sorry, my
about to say
brain.
you were talking first. You were talking about how you're about to say you haven't done that in a long
yeah,
time.
no, yeah, that's all I was gonna say. Is it's just been like years upon years since we even ate together as a family. But it's
See, I eat with
But
my
it's like
I eat with my family and everything, and like I eat and spend time with my daughters, but like they'll typically like eat at the bar, and like that because my kitchen has a sit down counter,
one of
counter
those. Yeah,
sit down counter bar. But
nice, nice.
Ireland, I think.
it's like an island, but it's connected to the wall.
Yeah,
But I say
I get what
I
you mean.
believe that it's called a breakfast bar.
I
Basic
think so.
basically like the girl, and we have the previous owners left us their chairs that they had, the high chairs they had for those. Like they're not actual children's high chairs, but I mean like they're like tall chairs.
Oh yeah, stools.
And they
kind of like bar stools.
Yeah, except for they have backs and they swivel.
Some bar stools have that, I think. But yeah, I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? Like if you went to a club or
Yeah,
something, you'd
yeah.
probably see them. But yeah, no, they left those, and so the girls love eating there. And typically, I'll eat on the other. I'm typically cooking while they're eating, so I'll be like right next to them while they're eating, and most of the time they like watching their shows. But I talk to them about school and all that stuff.
Yeah, fair enough.
And also they do love to sit down and watch shows with me and Abby, or like watch movies and stuff.
Anyways, I'm
Yeah.
hopping off.
Absolutely.
Hope you guys have a great night.
Yep.
Hope you
Good
guys
night.
hope you guys have a wonderful night. But to say, don't let the demons bite.
Don't worry.
Before we all leave at the same time, I don't know how to get access to it. However, there is a fan edit of Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah,
Oh.
Yeah,
you were talking about that you were talking about that earlier.
yeah. You have to email someone for it. I'll get in contact with the person who streamed it. It's 5 hours long. It comes in 2 parts. It's fucking awesome.
I
Like-
also
I'll look into it.
sorry, I also have a cat on my lap, but she clawed my leg really hard.
Get pranked.
Mine's purring her head off and
Aw.
trying to sleep.
You lucky bastard. About to say, Storm just meows at me. She literally just looks at me and goes, meow, meow, meow.
Green cat.
Annoying kitty.
But,
It-
ow. Either way, I could give a full-on Midwestern goodbye where we could be here for another half hour.
We usually do. We usually do, don't we?
It's
Yeah,
true.
we usually do.
But
Yeah,
but that's
Right,
because
but-
I love talking to you guys. You guys are a good conversation.
same.
Yeah.
Same, completely, 100%.
Speaking of talking, Blue's not gonna try less to make him his friend. He's gonna double down on it.
You will be my friend.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna start sending music tracks to play because
I'm actually currently working on that. I'm downloading a bunch of like non copyright music that I'm actually gonna be using in Roll20 for like ambiance music and all that.
Cool.
I'm
one
working on it.
one that is copyrighted by super highly recommend it, if only for when you're giving lore dumps, is the Wind Waker intro.
Oh my god! Hell yeah!
Oh,
Hell yeah!
I used it every
Right.
time I passed the legend lore, and it's great.
Oh, Tiny, you should play Wind Waker. It's a great game.
It's so good.
It's one of those.
Copyright.
That's fair. That about to say it's one of those Legend of Zelda games that like one of my best friends, Travis, like he forced me to play.
Yeah, and it's
Never really
pretty.
played
It's
much Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, neither have I. But I say I was very much like Twilight Princess was like the only one that I was like, fuck yeah, like fucking Link with turning into a wolf man, like hell yeah, that's dope.
Good.
Link
Agreed.
turning into a woman?
Turning into
Wolf
a
man.
woman? What?
No,
No.
that's,
Well, I mean, yes,
that's
if you
Princess Zelda and Sheik.
Oh, dude, I love Sheik.
Oh.
which is also in Twilight Princess, I believe.
It is. God,
Oh, kinda.
I love Twilight Princess. I'm still waiting for the day they remaster it. But
I got to the desert temple and then I stopped playing for some reason. I think I lost interest or something.
but I played Wind Waker because I had to. I was forced. And then I played Breath of the Wild because I chose to.
Oh god, Breath of the Wild, great.
Amazing game. And now I'm playing Tears of the Kingdom, and I'm having a lot of fun with that too. I did the first boss fight, and it's dope. I'm not going to talk about it because I don't want to give spoilers, but it's a great game. Either way, I could talk your guys' ear off, but in fact, I can literally name instances where I've talked to each of you for like an hour on your own, just having a conversation. Tiny, we've played games for hours.
We have, and they were amazing.
Yes, they were. You are a delightful conversation. How dare you?
Dare you be great to talk with.
Exactly, you bastard, especially when I was Darth Batbane.
Oh god, I
It was
forgot about
fun.
that.
About to say it, I could. Stray, don't you talk. About to say we fucking play Paladins a lot, and we've had delightful conversations. You bastard.
Yeah,
Paladins.
God,
I'm sorry, my brain's really floaty.
it's okay. About to say, and Wanderer. About to say, me and you have just had fun conversations where we just talk about random things.
Played fast before.
Mainly how Fortnite is the connection of all universes.
It's true. We literally had a philosophical conversation about that, and you showed me how the lineage, like how it all connects.
Yeah, it's all connected to Fortnite. Everything is connected.
And we also,
It's true.
and you also showed me that game that you play with some of your friends, where you just show a random picture from a war, and you had to describe both not only which war it was, where it was taken, and even the battle.
Yeah, I'm good at that game.
I'm not. I'm terrible at that game. I'm good at determining the time periods, and I love history. I'm not good at war history though.
In the
Yeah,
one that I sent you, I could name that it was the Canadians and they were using the Ross Rifle Mark III, I believe.
But you, my friend, know very much about that stuff, and I have friends who do know about that stuff. I just am terrible at remembering that stuff.
That's
Talking there,
by the way.
good
That's good.
night.
Good
No,
night, buddy.
no, no, you motherfucker! God damn it! One's leaving.
But it's...
Right when I'm about to show off. God damn it! My only skill outside of D&D.
But I say, I love you, buddy. I hope you have a wonderful night.
Okay, dude. Good night.
Good night. And thank you guys so much